Alright, here we go. Into the 2. It's time to get into the 2. Alright, so finished Dying Light 1 and the following. Time to get into 2. I don't know how relevant this is going to be to playing Dying Light the Beast when it comes out, so let's see what happens. I'm also going to let the intro cinematic play, hence why I have it up, so just for sort of added context in between the events of the game, in between the events of the games. So yeah, let's just, I don't really have much else to say, so let's just get right into the cinematic and then we'll get into a new game, because I've not touched this game since I finished my initial recording of it during my first run, so that's basically where I'm at as far as how much experience I have with the game. I had the, whatever, like 60 hours or whatever, like 50 hours or whatever I had in the base game during that recording session for the playthrough, and that was it. I've not come back to this game since then, so I think that's been a good 3 years since I played it. So let's see if they've ironed out the technical issues and if they've improved things.
And for once, make the right choices. Because every choice you make here shapes the future. Irreversibly.
It's kind of weird that they say that when a lot of the choices in the game are very minor at best, apart from very specific things near the end game. It's one of those weird things about choice in video games when the choices don't really do that much. Yeah, so like the intros, that intro cinematic is weird because it implies that there are a bunch of human settlements out there, and then at the end of it, it says one city is the last like remnant of humanity, and it's like, don't those two statements sort of like contradict each other? Like you're making it out where like other enclaves exist, and then you go back on that like 10 seconds later by saying, you know, Villador is sort of like the last bastion of humanity, and it's like, why? Like, are we supposed to take this, like, it's sort of a thing where when you have sort of a creation mythos, right, or a mythos to set up a game, you normally don't want to confuse your viewer or your player. And this is an intro that kind of confuses, because it's like, so is Villador the last bastion of humanity in general? Like, have all these other settlements fallen apart and, like, been destroyed? Or is Villador the only place left of note? Like, is it the only city that still has major amounts of people in it? You know, or is it a thing where this is sort of an unreliable narrator simply talking about the state of the world from a perspective of someone who's been to Villador and other enclaves but hasn't checked up in a while? You know, it brings up questions that you generally don't want to have, because I'm sitting here wondering how much is actually true in the intro, you know, especially when you create lines that are sort of inconsistent like that. But anyway, I'm not sure how much I'm going to rant during this game, but we'll see. We'll start a new game playing the prologue. Yes, we're going to play through the whole thing, just to recap it all, and also because I want to get the game from the start and do different stuff from what I did last time. I sided with the Peacekeepers last time. I'm going to go with the hippies this time, or whatever they're called. Remember, I had a lot of mechanical complaints, so let's see how much has been ironed out. And, well, a lot of my complaints were a mixture of things that involved, like, the mechanics not working properly, but a lot of them also dealt with just the mechanics being terrible, right? Just the ideas of them being, like, setbacks. Okay, so if it's 2036, and it's 15 years after the fall, then that means the fall happened in, like, 2020. Because it's like a thing, right? Dying Light takes place in 2015, I'm pretty sure. Or at least the following does by the end of it, right? And so, if that's the end of that, and then 5 years later, and then 2036 happens, 15 years before that would be like 2021, right?
And you used to be younger.
Dumber.
What matters is you're still just as fast. Because a slow pilgrim is
Yeah,
a dead pilgrim.
pilgrim. Yeah, I know.
It's kind of weird how the voice actors sound very similar, but they're not the same voice actor. It's a very strange sort of thing. Some of the expansion of, like, the armor and stuff was cool, and some of the accessories and tools and stuff, but there's just a lot of stuff that's, like, Just mainly the mechanics of it all, and the just a. I made my ranting series about it. I made my rants about it. I need to chill out. It's really weird how we have different characters. You know what's funny? The Spike character doesn't sound the same as Spike from Dying Light, but Aiden sounds the same as Crane. It's that weird thing where the character that should sound the same doesn't, and the character that shouldn't sound the same does sound the same. It's strange. Oh yeah, the thing I was going to mention about the sort of like the opening bit of the game, right? Since this is in 2036, that means that Crane
This is it.
turned into like a zombie person in 2015, right? So if the Beast takes place after that event, it has to be obviously, after 2015, right? But if it takes place after this game, that's going to be like a 21-year difference. And that's not going to make sense for Crane to have survived as a infected person for that long, right? Like, the infected can clearly get gunned down. I mean, we do it in the game. It's like, it's one of those weird things where the mechanics of the game are going to interfere with the way the story is sort of told if they make it something that takes place after this game.
Somebody had a nice crib.
Hopefully it doesn't, but I never understand why people want crouch to be C. Because it's like, don't you want, like, your movements... Like, don't you want your movements to be more like... Like I can move in any direction while hitting the crouch button if I do this. But if crouch was at C, like, I either have to get my thumb up on the keyboard to do it, or I have to, like... I can't do my... Like, I can't go to the right and hit crouch without it looking, like, feeling awkward. It's just a weird... I don't know why people constantly put crouch at C. Everybody who likes it is weird. Hellbent for leather. This is going to be a really weird sort of mixture of things across these playthroughs, because it's like... I'm super experienced with Dying Light. I've only played this game once.
Nothing in here.
So it's like... It's a weird sort of back and forth of like... I know a lot about Dying Light, the base game. I knew a decent bit about the following, but we played it on an overpowered character. And now we're going through this with a blank character that is going to be my second overall playthrough of the game 3 years after I initially played it and then gave up. It's a really weird experience. Also, one thing I want to say now. I've looked into the DLC of this game, and so far the only story-related DLC I found was like some arena mode that doesn't sound like a proper DLC story-based thing. So I'm probably going to ignore DLC at this point. Because as far as I can tell, there's not a whole... I didn't see a whole lot of story-based DLC. A lot of it's like cosmetic stuff and an arena mode that I don't really care about. So I'm probably not going to get into it. I wonder if we're going to go back to Haran, now that I think about it. Because there's an opportunity to, because if the canon ending for the DLC is that Crane survived, that means that he didn't nuke Haran, which means Haran is still there. And there's still, like, room to do stuff at the epicenter of the, at the epicenter of the first infection, right?
Party. But by then the GRE would have long since lost control of the virus.
Now, this is one thing I did like about this setup, is that they did kind of retain the environmental storytelling from the first game, which I thought was good, because I like how this whole tutorial area is built around this, this big party, where everyone kind of knows this is their last sort of party on Earth before, it's the end. And I've always found that this is a good sort of template to sort of show where the world is at this point and how some people decided to cash out. This is one thing. I'm hoping it doesn't take me, like, 50 hours to beat this game, because I'm probably not going to be able to get that done before the Beast comes out. And I really want to get things out before the Beast comes out. Why is there a hiding spot here? Maybe it's just mechanically tied to the object, like pianos count as hiding places. So I guess that's how this works. I don't know.
That's heartbreaking.
There's There's nothing like a party to celebrate the end of the world.
They died on their own terms.
Let's hope we get that lucky too. I'll see what's upstairs. You check out the garden, okay?
Okay.
Two things real quick. Number one, in a zombie apocalypse, never split up. Ever. Just bad idea. Just always bad idea. And number two, which is sort of more important, I totally understand people wanting to sort of cash out in this kind of environment, right? Like, I totally understand it, you know, given how, you know, there's like no hope at this point. But I mean, all things considered, right? Look how many people are here, right? Like, we've got like 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna try to get a solid count here, or at least a vague number, right? I didn't see anybody in there. So it's like 1, 2, probably a couple. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Let's see. 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40. So we're talking like over 40 people in this little compound, right? You're telling me that with 40 people, you couldn't try to get some form of civilization started, right? You're telling me that you couldn't do anything as a group that could help you all in some way, or at least help the majority of you in some way, right? And this kind of feeds into my initial second point, which was, you know, as a husband and a father, right? I can't imagine just cashing out. Like, I can't think of it, because there's just so much that family and friends are like the biggest thing to live for in situations like this. And that's part of the reason why I think this is kind of uniquely tragic in a way, is because it's like, you know, all of these people look like adults, right? So they look like just a bunch of people that probably lost family members, and this is like all these people I would assume are at the end of their rope already, right? But I mean, like, the end of my rope would be, you know, my family is gone, like they're dead, and I've confirmed it. Like, it would only be at that point that I would even think of giving up and cashing out. You know, maybe that's just me trying to be a fighter, but it's one of those things that it's one of those where this setup works really well for the environment that's going on. It's just I kind of have a personal difference of opinion in terms of when you should or shouldn't cash out, you know what I mean? Look around and loot stuff if I can. It's kind of funny how all these doors don't have door handles. It's a funny little, like, tidbit of, like, so before they died, they ripped off all the door handles? I wonder if they're going to reference that in The Beast. That Spike survived, but Crane, quote-unquote, didn't, until we learned that he did. I wonder. Oh, there's a playground. That's one thing I do think these games really do nail, for the most part, is just really capping on the sadness of how many people, you know, how much was lost because of the infection, you know. Stuff out here, too. I'm going to try to not loot everything available, but at the same time, I kind of want to. It's kind of funny to think that the bee population skyrocketed once humanity was sort of crippled. It's a funny little world-building thing that's probably, well, I say probably, it's definitely unintentional. Actually, that's one thing. Am I even getting experience points for this? I'm not. Man, I hate that. I hate when games do that, where it's like you should be getting XP, but you don't. Because game says no. I do like how the biters sleep as a mechanic. They look kind of stupid when they're, like, hunched over like that, but I'm kind of okay with that. Alright. High jumps. Yeah. I was not a fan of all these moves being locked behind things. You know, that was a big no-no, because it basically puts an arbitrary restriction on things that we didn't have in the previous game. So it's like a really weird experience going from a game where we didn't have those limitations to now we are reintroducing limitations in a way that kind of feels unnatural. This is also one thing I wasn't a fan of, is it felt like the combat was purposely redesigned so that it's more of a dance as opposed to like just hit them a bunch with different things. And as much as I like rhythmic combat, when enemies just, you know, automatically dodge away from you when you get close, it really does feel more like a video game rather than an actual like survival experience. You know, like the first game didn't have that badly, except with the human enemies, and the human enemies sucked to fight. I remember this game changed some of that combat to be more, just to be more like weird stuff. But like the combat change was weird.
Wait here.
I never understand why that hairstyle pops up so much in these post-apocalyptic things. It's another one of those funny things where it's like, do you want to know why you're stronger? It's like, I mean, we're literally weaker at the baseline than Crane was in the first game. This time around, I actually do want to try to max out the skills for this game, just because I've never done it. And I'd like to see what happens, because I know this game changed up the leveling system from the first game, and I'm curious of how all the changes sort of function. Wow, you're having issues today, aren't you? Let's see if your friend's a little smarter. Oh, there you go. Good job, you. Okay, so the search function for them does not appear, okay, with the pulse. I need to be mindful of that. This is the problem when you have games in a series that change, like, mechanics, is you run into issues of, does this game do this thing, or does the other game do this thing? And then it gets frustrating when your memory either messes up, or the games have certain things just be fundamentally different for some reason. One thing I'm not looking forward to is going down the hippie pathway of the game, because I really didn't like the hippie pathway at all. It seemed very sort of pseudo-communist, and they also made a lot of things that just didn't... They made a lot of decisions that just did not make sense to me. And so I was just wondering, what the hell are they doing? It's kind of funny how these guys talk, because it sounds like they're all about to take a massive dump. And just, they can't get it out. and I understand that they're supposed to be, like, juiced up on stuff and freaky, but it's just, it comes across more funny than freaky. This is a market improvement from other shit. I say that and then I just kick him in the face.
Why did you betray me?
This key is not yours. You can't.
Where is it?
In here.
This is the end. I'm sorry.
Getting misty?
Not really. You're only dying. Before 0 hour, my grandfather raised horses. Beautiful rare breeds. I love them dearly. One day, his most beloved horse fell off the slope and broke his leg. I thought Grandpa would help him, but he just pulled out his pistol and put it in my hand. He told me, "You're doing it for him." Then he pressed my finger on the trigger. I screamed. I wanted my grandfather to die. But years later, I realized what must be done must be done. You leave me no choice, my friend.
Someone's here.
In the pit! Get him!
It's kind of funny how Waltz didn't see us until we made some noise. It's like, dude, we're like right there. We're like a giant, like, dude cramped in this tiny little space. It's like, how do you not see us? Also, why didn't that guy lie in a more convincing way? You know, could have said I hid it somewhere. You know, there are better ways to do this than to say, hey, it's in my gut, psycho man I know will probably stab me. I'm gonna try to not complain as much as I did previously between, a lot of other things. So, we'll see if things start repeating or not.
He doesn't have a biomarker.
What?
He's fucking turning!
Hang him! Let's watch the fucker die!
No, it's hard not to complain about things when it's like these people acting like savages. They're gonna hang a man who's turning in front of them. It's like, yeah, this is totally what you should do with a zombie. Let him turn and spit his juices everywhere on top of you in the middle of your, like, marketplace. Totally smart move. Yeah, totally a smart move to hang someone that's a potential zombie. It's kind of weird how floaty we are. It's like, whoa! Please, jeez, when do I get out of this shit? When can I interact with shit? Please give me the world. Please let me out of the tutorial. I've been in here for like 2 hours. Can I access these now? Please say yes. Please say yes. What do I have to fucking do, game? Let me redeem the shit you gave me. I kind of want to go through the collectibles, but at the same time, I kind of don't want to reread everything. I think I might ignore collectibles, since they're usually not going to be relevant to what we're dealing with. I have a hard time understanding exactly sort of what the rule set is for when there are branching, like when the answers matter, because the gold options in the talk, like, menus are obviously, like, the ones that progress the quest. Like, I'm wondering how the game, like, does the game give indicators as to when a choice needs to be made? Because I remember there were, like, quick time events, or not quick time events, but you had, like, a timer set for certain decisions. And so I wonder if, when you get branching options like that, I wonder if each option actually means anything or it doesn't. Because this game has a weird thing when it comes to choice mattering. Right? Like, you know, the opening, like, cutscene thing said, like, oh, your choice matters. Every little one does. And it's just like, from what I've experienced and read, that's not true. So I'm trying to figure out how much of it is true in terms of the degrees at which decisions impact things.
Sleeping Beauty.
Okay, so there's no, like, takedown upgrade besides that one. Yeah, I don't see anything here that really affects the stealth thing. It's just one of those things where, like, I miss some of the stuff that you got from the other, you know, the other experiences. Or the other game. Right, it's just like there are mechanical things that feel like they should be fun things to play with, given how mechanics from the previous games worked, but this game goes back on several of those things, which kind of makes dealing with certain things underwhelming. Like, inconsistencies between sequels is a serious problem that I wish could be avoided at all costs, and should be avoided, right? You shouldn't have games that are inconsistent. It's one thing to expand, it's another thing to change. It seems like a lot of games default to changing shit around. Boy, I sure do love yellow paint. That guy literally has his ass in a wall. That's just a evil, dark place. Probably where a bunch of enemies spawn. Sort of video game logic, like, if there's just a random black hole somewhere, enemies probably come from it. Still don't like the encounters giving XP based on success instead of actually doing the thing. But here we are. It's one of those things, right, about some of these challenges. It's like, why do we have to have, like, a very specific level of stamina to do things? It's always been a really weird thing for this game in particular. It's just like there's so much that they could have done that they ruined by putting arbitrary restrictions on things. It just makes the whole experience annoying when it's like, oh, I don't have enough stamina to do this challenge. Great. Just great. Like, instead of having options to go certain places, you just can't do some things because you run up to it and like, oh, can't do it. Wonderful. Guess I'll move on and maybe forget about it. You know, when the puzzle's locked behind levels as opposed to like a challenge, I think that's an issue. I think that's a serious issue. What the fuck? I can't do this. What is with this shit? Supposed to use this jump pad? Okay. Thanks for telling me what to do without telling me how I'm supposed to do it. Got little chickens in here. We're sleeping with the chicks tonight. And this is one thing, right, as this run sort of goes on. I want to do a different run than what I did previously. Basically where I sided with the Peacekeepers on my initial run. I want to flip that around and side with the whatever the other faction is this time. So, I guess that's... It goes against my better judgment, because I remember not liking the Bazaar people at all.
Don't recognize me? Or are you allergic to making money? Listen, Pilgrim. We can make a killing, you and me. You just need to get me some beets, radishes, parsnips.
There he is. Grab him, Ed. He's a murderer.
What? Julian, Luke's been poisoned. From the water you sold him, Devin says.
What? But I don't sell water.
Liar. Luke told me he got it from you. Whatever's in it has him ranting and raving now.
You're sure he didn't blame me after he started renting?
I wouldn't call it proof, but he was just trying to rope me into some shady deal.
All I need to know. You're done, Julian.
That wasn't a shady deal at all. He just asked you to help him find stuff. Who the fuck wrote this? Why are you giving me this pop-up now? I already did the nighttime story. There's so many things that should have been fixed have not been fixed, and it's been like 3 years. See, now they're dropping weapons. Like, why did they delete weapons before? Maybe they actually did fix the issue when the game came out, where like a lot of enemies just were not dropping weapons, just full stop. They just were not doing it for whatever reason. And maybe I just encountered a random glitch? What the fuck is a glitch? I'm turning into Slurpo over here. Can we do that? Nope, can't do it. Arbitrary restrictions, yay! Okay, can't get... Oh, yeah, I forgot. These things require this shit. That's gonna be annoying. I hate when all these things just require other shit to work. It's one thing I really don't like about, like, progression systems that are locked behind. Like they try to rebalance it where you're at the right level to do different things at the same time, but they inadvertently create a system where you're restricted. You know? Like the previous game, each tree was completely independent of each other, and that meant that you could level them up as quickly as you wanted in whatever direction you wanted. Right? Like if you wanted more parkour points, you could work on parkour. If you wanted more like combat points, you could do more combat stuff. You know, if you're working towards a certain ability or something, you could do that. But here, it's just everything's just it's just not cool. Bruh, that should have hit you. Fuck you guys. I hate that auto-dodge shit in game. It's so fucking annoying. It's like, you give me throwables. Let me use throwables. I mean, holy shit, man. There's just a lot of There's a lot of shit about this game that I just don't like. And it comes back to a design philosophy thing. There's just a lot of shit in this game that's just like, why did you decide to do it this way? Wait a minute. Why am I getting points for kicking this corpse? This game is just so weird. It's strange and broken, and that's the weird part about it. Come on, man. Do some basic... This is the thing, too, is like, Crane had less experience with parkour, and yet is having more issue... And yet, Aiden... It's like... Crane had less experience doing parkour in Dying Light 1, yet Aiden, who has been doing this his entire life, like, from, like, well, like, Aiden's, like, probably, like, 12 or something, can't manage to do it as well as Crane did on his first day. It's just problematic and stupid. Wait, did we get a stinky pipe? Is that something we actually picked up just now? A stinky pipe. This is one thing I've been thinking about since the last recording, was the strange... There's sort of this strange obsession with grinding. Like there's not obsession, but there's like this strange... Just, like... I don't know what the right word would be, but there's a strange dynamic between grinding and skills in this game that's nothing like the previous game. Because in the previous game, you know, you could have, like you could grind out a certain skill if you wanted to get it up, right? And you could do that basically whenever you wanted, right? You just have to know how to do it and then just do something over and over and you got it, right? But yeah, what I was talking about was, there's this weird sort of symbiotic relationship between grinding in this game and upgrades, like where you have to get a whole bunch of infected, like special infected parts to upgrade things. And I never understood why they made you do that. Because it's like, they made the game far more grindy than it probably should have been. You know, it's like, if I'm going to make like a Molotov, for example, you know, you take like a, you know, like the previous game. If I want to make a Molotov in the previous game, right, you typically, I forget the exact recipe, but it's like alcohol and like string, right? Like that's it, right? In this game, they'd have you like farm infected stuff to upgrade the ability to do that, and it's like, how does having infected stuff upgrade this thing's ability to do stuff? But yeah, just like my main point is just the changes to the way inventory and upgrades work are just really strange and make the game feel more grindy than it needs to be. But while they have that grindiness for upgrades, they took out all of the grinding that you could do for your skills by virtue of having them locked behind, like, finding resources, right? Like, it's... Like it's a weird experience when, you know, in the previous game, you could unlock your skills as soon as you had a skill point and the right level of that skill, right? Which is very simple. You know, it's sort of a self-fulfilling type of, it's sort of a self-fulfilling type of progression system. But in this game, you have to grind and find all these different inhibitors in order to upgrade your shit to where you can actually unlock everything. And that just slows down progression massively when you do shit like that. So it's like, how am I supposed to do this shit? You know, like, how am I... Like, the grinding has become less natural from the previous game, where it was, you know, the more you do parkour, the more you do combat, the better you'll get at those things. This game's different. You have to find inhibitors to be able to get better at the things that you do. And it's just a... You know, you can't grind out your skills by virtue of using your skills. It's such a fuck-up from where it was before. And that's the thing that gets me. It's like, this was so much better in Dying Light 1. But all the restrictions with all the other shit just make it... It's a change for the worst. And this game just seems to have so many things that are changes for the worst. You know, I call back to, you know, my initial playthrough and a lot of the criticisms I had during that. It's like, this is 3 years out from the release. There's still technical issues here. You know, there are still issues with the way the combat works. You know, with, like, enemies auto-dodging and not taking damage from things when they obviously should. You know, like, there's a bunch of issues that aren't just, like, mechanical screw-ups. Like, these are design philosophy mistakes and things that make the experience worse. You know, and it's just kind of lame to see a lot of the changes mechanically to the game. You know, when it comes to some of the arbitrary ways they restrict things by comparison to what you had before. It's a weird case of them expanding a whole bunch of specific things and then not expanding a whole bunch of other things. And it makes the whole experience worse for wear over time, because you've taken a good system from before and you've made it more grindy in the weirdest ways possible, and also slowed down progression at the same time. You know, I'm not saying that you have to unlock a level every like 10 minutes or anything stupid like that, but it's just strange that they would change the way so many things work. And it's like you can grind out your skills, but you can't unlock things until you find all of the inhibitors around the map. You know, which are not respawnable and are finite. So it's a weird, like why are we going back and forth on this, you know? See, like this, like, the game's just got random broken shit in it 3 years after it came out. It's like, what the fuck's going on? I think my biggest complaint of the game is just I don't like the unlock system. I think that's the best way to sort of put this. I am not a fan of the unlock system as it is now. How do you guys keep aggroing? I'm just killing a zombie. You're not a fucking hive mind. This is one thing, too. I'm not entirely against the whole thing about, like, the inhibitors and shit, but I feel like it could have been better if they just didn't have all the skills tie together, where you have to get inhibitors to unlock shit. It's kind of ironic. I feel like the parkour has gotten more complicated and yet less useful. But yeah, like I was saying earlier, though, I don't mind the sort of collectible upgrade nature of the inhibitors. It's just tying other skills to them feels like just a way to slow down the player's progression in general. Why do y'all just randomly activate? It's like an annoyance meter builds up, and then all of a sudden, you get the annoyance ping. It's like, here come the annoyances. I didn't even do anything. I just killed zombies. That was it. See, this is the thing, right? If you make upgradable gear, that's great. But if you make it where certain enemies just don't take damage from the thing, it's gonna radically cheapen how your shit works. One thing I'm very happy about, when you really get down to it, is I'm very happy that, like, the developers are like, okay, we understand that you may not want to, like, push to, you know, do shit. Or you don't want to, like, tap things over and over. So, like, here's, like, the option to not do that. I really appreciate that. I actually really appreciate that, not having to deal with, you know, like, tapping. So I feel like that's just bad for your gear. How do you see me, you fucking chicken nugget? Whatever. And he escapes, too. He escapes by running like 20 feet and it's over. I don't know. Wow, there's so much buggy shit in this game. It is such a shame. I can't use weapons here either. This game just takes the fun out of doing so much different shit. I wonder if the game is just not prepared to have you, like, go to places that aren't story-driven yet. It seems like we've been dealing with... we've been going to locations that the game doesn't expect us to go to, but we can reach. And so we just kind of... so things are just kind of screwed up in terms of progression, you know? I really want to pick up the items, game. Why don't you let me? Also, why do I have to stare at this to unlock it? Why? I just have so many little questions of why is it like this? I need to check something. I saw somewhere in the options where it was like there's like an auto sprint or something. Yeah, let me turn that on because I keep like lagging behind a little bit because the game keeps resetting my like sprint thing. Like if I hold sprint, do an action, and I'm still holding sprint, it doesn't register that I'm still holding sprint. It just creates issues. What the? I'm not doing this. I'm not doing the forward motion here. What the fuck is this? I keep reading that as education convoy for some reason. I'm not sure why that is. Game, fuck off. Jeez, man. I was like, you make me take forever to heal. Then you spawn a fuck ton of enemies around me. And then you don't have them attack each other when they're clearly attacking each other. It's like, make up your fucking mind on how you want me to play your game. Prepare to die. Hum diggity bung bung bung. He just says to reach the roof. Let's see if we can abuse this. Locked from the inside. Wow. Just let me bypass shit, game. Like, the clock's not ticking. Like, what are you fucking doing? I swear, this quest has always been just a problem. I hate it. Still not doing the fucking nighttime shit. I don't give a shit. You won't turn to nighttime. Fuck you. I'm not picking up the quest. Fuck these guys. Alright, let's wait for nighttime, because the game can't register that a nighttime quest needs to take place at fucking nighttime. Ever since I like changed the setup of my office, and all I did was unplug and then replug in my microphone, and it completely changed the audio for some reason. So that's been fun to deal with. You know, just having that whole thing be an issue. But hopefully it's fixed now. Climb, you ding-dong. There's tons of shit to grab. Just go up, you fucking dunce.
Hakon, there's a creature I haven't seen before.
What does it look like?
I think this is an enemy we already dealt with.
Extremely fast.
Probably a bolter. You can find some interesting stuff on them. But catching one requires serious hunting skills. Now is not the best time for this, Aiden. Head for the tunnels.
Isn't the thing, right? Like, it's so funny how it's like, hey, this is an infected I've never seen before after we've killed like 15 of them. You know, just kind of ruins the whole experience when it's like, I've already seen this shit, man. It's like, it's not actually that special at this point, because I've already, like, Dying Light 1 was a lot better about this, where as you progressed quests, new infected would spawn around the world, but until you progressed to that point, those infected would not spawn. You know, it sort of, it made sense in the way that it sort of progressed in terms of like quest progression leading to different things, right? But this is a more realistic thing where it's like, yeah, these infected would surely exist in the world, but you know, they wouldn't be as, you know, nearly as, you know, it wouldn't be nearly as surprising to see them. One thing I've been kind of thinking about as I've sort of thought about playing this game more is I sided with the Peacekeepers fully as much as, like, as often as I could during my initial playthrough, and yet they betrayed me right at the end. And as far as I know, for no reason, right? So I'm wondering if we're going to have a repeat of that, but with the Bazaar people. Because if we don't have a repeat with the Bazaar people, I'm gonna have to say this game is very one-sided in terms of its sort of choice thing. You know, because it's like the PKs are obviously supposed to be some sort of like fascist group, right? But the Bazaar act like a communist group, right? So you should have the, you know, in a neutral world, you should be able to pick which faction you want to go with. You know, but the game clearly paints the PK in a bad light immediately. So it makes me wonder how much of this is actually like... It makes me question like if the game was intended for you to pick these guys or if it was just sort of a byproduct of sort of whatever system they had at the time or something. I don't know. Just whenever you give players the option to have choices in a game, and then you make one side the obvious bad guys during the story, or the obvious group that is problematic, you end up disincentivizing choices in general because you're basically telling the player, hey, you have the option to side with these guys, but they're bad people. They're bad people. We don't like these people. Why are you... You know, like, why would you set them up to be the bad guys if we have the option to, like, trade with them? And they seem like they're just trying to maintain order. It's sort of that thing where I wonder if the devs know what they created when they made the Peacekeepers, right? Or if they just thought, oh, we need another faction. Let's make them pseudo-fascist in some way. Just to fuck with people or something. I don't know. It makes me wonder like how aware some developers are when they make things. You're gonna get so many bonus points during this. It's gonna be great. They're gonna be the bestest points ever. They're gonna be huge. Gonna be huge. There will be nothing like what you've seen before with the levels we are going to gain from this expedition. You have no idea. This is one thing too that I remembered is like the rewards you get mechanically from siding with the Peacekeepers or the Bazaar, they're not even, right? Like, the Peacekeepers give you tons of weapons and shit. The Bazaar gives you parkour stuff, which is like, it only helps during parkour sections.
Are you there?
I just wanted to see the health regen. Oh god. Damn, Hayden, that's almost sort of like cruel to do it that way. Damn, dude. I know they were trying to kill you and stuff. Damn. Game feels like it's trying to be Doom. I'm gonna do a main mission until it's over, then do side stuff. 6 side missions later. Never have auto-dodging in a video game, ever. It's generally going to be a bad idea that makes people resent your game. See, it has a check next to it, but I also need to scroll over it to check and see if I've actually looted the damn place. It's such an annoying, like, what are you doing? Why do you do this to me? Oh god, it's you two. I remember hating y'all.
The essence of survival? What are you talking about?
Want to find out? Just close your eyes.
Nah, I ain't closing my eyes.
No way. One of you might, I don't know, stab me for all I know.
You bet she would. Oh, stop it, Diane.
Oh, I have to do it.
The essence of survival?
Want to find out?
I hate this repetitive shit. It's like these aren't choices. These are just redo shit, don't redo shit.
What do you perceive? Of course not. I have this really exciting idea for a new fragrance. People are going to pay a fortune for just a whiff. I called it Turn Me On. And it's almost finished. I just need some scraps for the heart note.
I'm cringing into a butthole.
What do you mean?
I know the quest isn't actually about being turned on in a sexual way, but I can't not think of that when they say something like, I called it Turn Me On. It's like seeing a character named Harry Dick, right? You can't not think about the the double entendre there, right? Or whatever it is. Like, you can't not think about that when that kind of shit happens. I mean, again, this is one of those things, right? The PK, look, they're helping a woman. Look, they're killing infected. Aren't those things we want? But apparently their feud with the Bazaar is worth dying over and fighting them for.
I'll try to find Lucas's killer.
Splendid. That's your ticket.
He keeps looking at me and I can barely see his eyes because he's doing the scowl thing.
Anything else I should
It's like,
know before I go?
Raise your head up, bud.
As a matter.
Why are we getting views now? We've already been here. The quest already took us here. Why? Like, this is not a new location. I really don't want to side with these guys, but I want to have different content from what happened before, just to see. So I'm going against my better judgment here. This is going to be difficult to do.
You're that pilgrim that came to town recently.
You're sure well informed.
Don't have much of a choice. I'm in charge of safety here. Besides, yesterday you made quite an entrance.
I'm looking for a job. Would you happen to know of any?
I always never understood this. This is one of those things, right? It's like, we're here to talk about Lucas's death, and for some reason, Aiden completely fucking forgets about that in the space of, like, seconds, and is trying to do a job. It's like, why? I still don't get why this is. It's one of those moments where it's just like the plot just completely forgot what the plot fucking was. I like how we have the trope of this coming up again from the first game. It's like, why can't we have like a little sister being a little shit? Why is it always the big sister blaming the little brother? This is one thing I've been thinking about now. Like, I went with in my first run, I was like a sympathetic peacekeeper. Now I kind of want to be a cold-blooded Bazarian, just to kind of create a contrast of some kind. I'm thinking about it now, and I think it'd be kind of fun. I need more large trophies. You know what I should do? I should probably just start at night and just start killing big guys, just to finish this fucking thing up.
Mom?
Nathan? That you? What happened? Where are you?
It's all good, Mom. We're almost... Barney and me are just finishing up here.
Barney! He promised me that he'd keep you safe!
Don't freak out, Mom. Listen, we got him. The crystals. We got him. And I killed 3. 3 infected. I beat them, Mom.
We really need to get going.
Then get the hell out and get back here safe! Barney promised!
Sure. Soon. We'll be back soon, Mom.
Nathan, what's going on? Nathan? Nathan!
Really making the Bazaar out to be competent and helpful and protective of people, you know, when you got this dipshit leading kids to their deaths. He caused a child to die. I've got the Mass Effect trilogy pack, whatever you want to call it, and I've been real anxious to try it out, and I kind of want to do like a special run for me. Or not a special run, but like a run where I do the way I would want things to pan out, and then do like extreme runs where we like go hard into being like, I don't know, like a dick, just to see what happens. In here. Okay, the multiplier's down there, so I can see the actual multiplier. That's good. I like helpful HUDs. They help. As is the idea. Actually, we could use more of your shit. I would love to upgrade our throwing daggers to max, just because if we could do that before later in the game, with how cheap they are, that would just be incredible. This is actually a great farming spot, along with this weapon. I'm kind of fine to just stay out here and keep farming stuff. We're gonna fight until daytime. Because fuck it, we're getting lots of points. Jeez. I'm not a fan of them taking so long to like finish ragdolling or whatever. Like, it takes them a long time to finish their death animation sometimes, and it just wastes my time for trying to loot them. It's like I'm trying to like they're already defeated. Why do we need to take so long for them to actually fall down where I can loot them? I don't understand it. Holy shit, we got 4 points out of that. Okay, why not? Why not? Why not? Why not? Damn, man, if that's where we're gonna be with challenges, we could max this out right fucking now. Bring it on, boyo. All right, let's let's upgrade these daggers since we're kind of close.
Right here.
Nice.
You have a...
See how much damage these. Holy shit! That's a lot of fucking damage. I have a strong feeling that we might finish the power tree or the combat tree today. I have a very strong feeling of that. $116,000. Yeah, we are definitely done with the combat tree. Alright. Oh, we're almost there. Dang. Very close. Very close. I'm glad they removed the thing where he doesn't, like, block shit constantly. I mean, at this point, at this point, we can probably go through these areas at any time of day and be okay. Just because of how overpowered the daggers are at this point. This is one thing I've been thinking about as I've sort of gone through the game a second time, is that they've clearly ironed out some of the issues mechanically. Some of them are still there, which is kind of sad, but you know, it is good to see that they did do something in terms of, like, you know, trying to fix some of the issues that were present beforehand. Introduction to enemy we've already killed. Woo! One thing I do remember, though, is they did change the volatiles around. They used to not be on the rooftops hardly at all. I remember that being a criticism of mine.
Okay. I guess that means I should wait here. Mia? Mia?
Aiden, what's the matter with you?
Mia, where are you? Mia? Oh no. 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 No.
That was a real meaningful cutscene bit. That was real meaningful.
Fucking Joe will pay.
Must be.
It looks like Sophie's not here. I better look for her.
Pilgrim!
Hey you, Dry County. Let's get wasted.
It's like, where's Sophie? She's not here. She's right fucking here. What the fuck?
Susie, Logan. I swear I'll tear them apart and eat the pieces.
Chill out, bro.
Ralph! To your health! I love you.
He's such a fucking moron. I'm tired of these younger brother moron characters in these games.
The beginning of the fall. Time to act. The quicker we do this, the less prepared Jack and Joe will be.
Where's Sophie?
There, on the rooftop. I'm watching you, Pilgrim.
How did Sophie get over there so fucking fast? I don't understand this. It's just weird. Just weird. Just teleporting. There's a lot of awkward teleporting to places for the sake of the story, and it's like, why can't we just keep talking where we're at? That makes it feel less video gamey.
To lurk or help.
It says, I always hated this thing about the tower shit. It's like all the loot will disappear after you clear the base. It's like, why? Just put all of it in my inventory. It cannot be that hard to code that. It just can't.
Shit. I'm too late. Sophie! Barty! You there? Sophie? Sophie, report in.
Don't know why we need a cutscene for that. It's a weird thing. They put cutscenes in like weird places when you don't really need them. It's like you may as well just had me open the door and then that's it. Right? Like we don't need a cutscene for this.
Damn it, Aiden. I was actually starting to like you. You brought the peacekeepers here.
I helped you.
You betrayed us. And now we have to kill you. Helped Ator and yourself. Helping us was just a byproduct. What are you waiting for? Don't know what to do?
Wait, Barney! Barney, wait!
Come back here, Barney. I guess there's no way around this. You just have to fuck with Barney being a bad guy, I guess.
You fucking grizzly.
This is amazing. This is amazing. I have a worse relationship with the Bazaar by trying to help them. That's such a backwards, like, fucking system. Oh, man.
What's the plan?
If this was me, I would not help them after all this stupid shit, but I'm trying to go along that pathway.
We have a chance to take the tower and finally.
How are you alive? It's so weird how, like, I'm trying to help, like, I'm actively trying to make an effort to help them, and I keep getting, like the game won't let me help them without me looking like an asshole based on just the writing of the situation. Just the game's, like, the mechanics around the choices are very strange. And, like, it's like sometimes some of the encounters we have, it's like some of the encounters that we get don't, like the options we have don't line up with what our choices made were.
It's unoccupied.
Jack, I'm warning you.
Got it. And the water is safe.
I mean, we didn't disarm them, we just picked them up and put it in our pocket. If anything, we're gonna blow up now. This is not a wise move. Fuck you guys. I'll even die together. How sweet. Alright, now I can do faction shit.
So what now, Aiden? Smart guy. Who gets control of the water?
Given how the Bazaar seems to eat their own, I don't want to do it, but I'm going to do it for the Bazaar anyway, because I don't want to do the Peacekeeper stuff anymore. Oh, even though there's so much stuff in here. There's so much stuff in there. That's cool. And here we are. It's kind of funny how it aligns it, like, you can help the Peacekeepers or the Survivors. And it's like, but we're the Bazaar. We're not Survivors. We are a different faction from Survivors. Why is it? It's framed in such a poor manner. Yeah. You know, I thought about being, like, a dick throughout the rest of the run, and I just kind of want to give that up because the game seems more unpredictable than anything else, so I don't want to be a dick anymore. I hate siding with the Bazaar, but I don't want to be a dick anymore either.
Yes.
Maybe. I have had it forever.
Oh god. NPC. 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 Fuck it up. Man, what a time to go into like a talking cutscene. Jeez. Wow, that is a testament to how big the hitboxes are for some of these things. I'm shooting this guy, that area explodes. I mean, kind of like I said in one of the prior, you know, things, I'm waiting to see if the game will have a justifiable, like, flip around from what's going on here, because I went full Peacekeepers, right? Did almost everything I could for up the Peacekeepers as far as I could tell, right? And they betrayed me in the end. I'm wondering if that will happen again. Like, I'm genuinely wondering if that will happen again. Because if it doesn't happen again, I'm going to have serious questions. Because it's like, if, you know, because if the game is going to make the Peacekeepers the bad guys no matter what, I'm going to hate the game because the choice doesn't matter anymore. You know, but if the Bazaar people also betray us, that'll just be a bad writing trope of, like, whoever you're with just betrays you just because, right? And so the choices aren't as impactful as you would think, right? So, like, either way, the game doesn't win unless it, you know, if it's consistent, it's going to suck. If it's inconsistent, it's also going to suck, but for different reasons.
Hey, okay, go to the water tower. We're going to use the charges that Jack and Joe tried to blow it up with. Let me know once you get there.
Why do I have to go back to the water tower? I picked up the explosives and didn't discard them. Why do I have to re-pick them up? I literally put them in my inventory and didn't do shit with them afterwards. They should still be in my pocket, game. Why? I swear, some games need, like, a continuity person to just help, like, facilitate, like, consistency in games, because I swear there's a lot of shit in this game that is just inconsistent just because. I like how nothing is set up with the PKs being bad. Things just sort of suddenly happen, and it's their fault. It's very odd. But yeah, it's going to be kind of cool going through content I've not seen before. Although the setups with the PKs are really bad. Like, it's just assumed that they're bad from the get-go. They might drop one line about doing something, but it's like unprompted the majority of the time, and it kind of like the setup for the Bazaar and the PKs is very borked. It's very fucked up. Like, it does a really good job of setting up the PKs as those trying to maintain order, and the Bazaar is incompetent. Those are the two biggest issues, right? And then they try to turn the PKs into the bad guys. And they really don't want you to side with the PKs, it seems. Even if you do pick the PK side, you know, they betray you and shit. So it's like, the fuck do you want?
Come on, come on. Faster. Go on.
Are you kidding me? I cannot climb this. It's made of fucking... Look at all the grabbing points.
Don't be scared. It's safe now.
Thank you.
Hey, Sophie. So where's Vincenzo?
Aiden, watch out!
Where the fuck? Where the fuck did you come from? 5 people walked past you, motherfucker.
Guy wasn't even worth it.
What the fuck? Okay, game. Well, that's the end of that. I don't really understand what happened. I held the button to get on the zip line, and then the game just dropped me. Alright, let's see if we have this same sequence where we go back and block doors over and over. I remember that being really annoying because of how, like, repetitive it was. Having to block, like, door after door after door. It seems like they did change it, because there used to be a whole lot more doors to deal with.
Well, first, let's fuck out of here. Not sure we managed to ditch that psycho.
I remember that line giving me cringe. It's all coming back now. Alright, I think I remember... Actually, I don't remember if I tested it, but I'm pretty sure this does lock off that one section. For whatever reason. I'm also not a fan in general of just, you know, deleting loot. It's like, why can't you just have me just auto-loot everything here once I complete the area? Why not? Like, if you're going to go through the hassle of deleting it, when I could run around... Like, when I complete the base, why not make it simpler for the player and let us, like, auto-loot everything? Right? That's something I don't understand. It's like, you want me to take more time out of playing it when I've completed the area. Like a lot of games do like several games do the thing where when you complete an area, you just auto-loot everything and it goes in your inventory, right? Which saves the player time and makes it feel like they accomplished something huge. When you plan to just when you delete all the loot, it makes it feel like I don't want to complete the objective. Like you're telling me that when I do the objective, I will lose stuff. And that's not an experience you want players to have. Oh man. So this night combat just gets kind of boring over time, where it's just like it's like we're doing the same shit just sort of over and over and over, and we get stuck dealing with infected that just don't stop. And they know where we are for some reason. You know, it's the most video game shit from this sort of like night system. It's like, how do they, like these guys just know where I am immediately without fail. It's like I wasn't even trying to aggro them, and just by existing they know where I am. It's sort of like it makes the game feels way more video gamey than I guess I probably ultimately think it should be. I think that's the biggest issue I kind of have at this point. Oh man, so many of these quests are just like, hey, do a parkour challenge. It's like, I've already done tons of these. Changing the location and complexity is not really going to do much with the quest when it's just another challenge. Yay, more challenge. Woo! Are you telling me you can't climb that, Aiden? Are you telling me you cannot climb that? Fuck off. Fuck off! It's good to be streaming again. I missed I wish I could stream more. I wish this was my full-time job. I wish it was. I feel stretched like butter across too much bread. And what did you think of Lord of the Rings? Okay, so the short version of my the short version is I really like the story of the Lord of the Rings. I really like the characterization, and I like how it deals with war and the build up, the fight, and the aftermath. I like a lot of stories seem to cut out parts of that. Now, the things that I didn't like about Lord of the Rings is I really don't like the pacing. I'm not a fan of the pacing of the book, or of the books. I think Fellowship is the best paced story of the group. The thing that gets me about Lord of the Rings is I don't like the way the story is sort of broken up into sort of like two chunks in Two Towers and Return of the King. I'm not a fan of that. Because it's sort of a thing where you get all of one chunk of storytelling and then you go back in time to line back up again, and that kind of creates a weird sort of pacing difference that doesn't feel like it should. It's one of those things that gets kind of distracting, and my wife was like this too when she read it, is, you know, having the cliffhanger of like Frodo and Sam getting through Shelob's domain, and then Frodo getting abducted by orcs, and Sam like being like, oh shit, they got him, and that's the end of Two Towers. We were both kind of annoyed that we had to read through like 9 chapters in a row of like shit that didn't deal with Frodo to get back to Frodo, you know, and it's sort of like his story. And it's just one of those things where I'm not a fan of the pacing of the way Two Towers and Return of the King is broken up into sort of 2 chunks. I'm also not a fan of the Scouring of the Shire sequence. I think that sequence kind of doesn't help the overall package of the story. I think it kind of undercuts a lot of things about the ending when you have this sort of post-ending edition. So that's kind of where I'm at. I enjoy the sort of... I feel like you could take out the Scouring of the Shire chapter and you'd lose literally nothing. I think the movies did a much better job of letting the ending end with the big conflict, and then that's it. Right? I think that's a better ending than having Saruman come back to the Shire, fuck it up for like I don't know what the time frame was, for like a few weeks, like a month, or like 2 months or something. But like him fucking it up for a little bit, and then for us to learn that Saruman like took over the Shire, made it shitty, then the entire rebellion against him happens, then they take over, then they kick him out. For that all to happen in a chapter feels like it's just a rushed addition at the end of a larger story that didn't really need it. Like, it feels so detached from everything else. I like the characterization of the hobbits during that chapter, you know, where you have like Frodo, Sam, Merry, and Pippin sort of taking charge, like to liberate, you know, the hobbit, sort like the Shire in general. That's good. The characterization in that section is good. I just don't think that story needed to be there, and that's sort of my biggest thing. Because I think that you can have that sort of the scenes showing their... I mean, they've obviously changed, and I think little scenes in the chapter on their way home and in the Grey Havens chapter is enough to show you that they are different. So I don't really think we need the Scouring of the Shire really at all in terms of the overarching sort of narrative. It's sort of an anticlimactic climax, I guess. It's like a post-climax anticlimax that feels like it just kind of didn't need to exist. And that's sort of my biggest gripe of Return of the King, was that whole section was kind of like, oh, okay. One thing I did like was I did really like the Houses of Healing chapter, how it dealt with the aftermath of the whole like siege of Minas Tirith and all that other shit, all the wounded and shit, dealing with like the remnants of what happened when the Nazgul was killed, how Eowyn and Merry were doing, how Faramir was like in a fever, you know. I mean, like I said, I like the story of The Lord of the Rings. I think the pacing and the choosing of what to keep in the story, I think, is sort of where the problem actually is for me. I think that's my biggest thing. I think the movies pace it much better. I'm really not a fan of all these parkour quests that are just like, hey, here's a parkour challenge, but it's a quest. So not only will it take up map space as a parkour challenge, but it also takes up space in your quest log. Whoop-de-doo. It's interesting seeing the changes the film made, like Boromir died at start of Two Towers in the books. Yeah. That's one thing I also had sort of strong opinions about, is I kind of didn't like how... I think the movies do a better job of playing up certain characters from the book. Like I think Boromir's death in the movie is far more impactful and meaningful in the movies, the way it's presented in that story as sort of the culmination of like the Fellowship breaking, in a way, you know, and it's sort of, the Fellowship kind of breaks because of Boromir in a roundabout sort of way. But the book just kind of cuts off with Frodo's journey ending, and it feels like there could have been... I prefer the movies in most things after reading the books. There are a couple scenes in the books that are not in the movies that I liked, like the Houses of Healing chapter in general. I think was a really good chapter. I really did like a lot of the extra stuff about the logistics of sort of the war in Gondor, so to speak. You know, with dealing with all the different sort of groups and the factions coming to help Minas Tirith. I like that. But I think I still prefer the movies in terms of how the story is told.
How you doing, pal?
Rig and go.
Man, this
No need
dude's
to be
blood
so
pressure.
pleased with yourself.
He must be going nuts.
You need more.
Go up, Aiden. Up. Up. How's the Skyrim commentary coming? Really enjoyed part 1 of the analysis section. Thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed it. It's going decently well. I've been kind of going back and forth between editing and scripting. Like this past week, I scripted I scripted the fuck, I can't speak right now. I scripted the main story section, the Civil War sections, the companion section, the Dark Brotherhood section, the College of Winterhold section, and I feel like I'm missing one. It was like main quest, Civil War, Civil War stuff, companions. Yeah, so basically I made it up to the Thieves Guild stuff, and right now I'm working on the Thieves Guild editing of that part. So editing's been going really well, which is good. It does not take me very long to edit these sections because I'm basically just ranting throughout the entire like thing. So I don't need to worry too much about like what footage is in the background so much as making sure any like graph or image I want to put up gets put up. So the hardest part for me is scripting. Like I'm scripting the rest of the lore section now, so that's going to be the biggest sort of thing that stops progress. Yeah, so it's looking good for the lore section so far. The lore section is by far going to be the largest section of the entire like analysis section. So it's good that I can edit these things relatively quickly without having to worry too much about extra shit. My main concern is just getting the script done before I'm done editing, sort of up to where I'm at. That's the main thing. One thing I have been doing, the weird thing about this commentary, like the Skyrim thing in general, as a project, is just how I've been sort of editing it on the go, right? This has not been a normal process for me at all. Like editing in a different way from what I'm used to. The way I've organized it has been different from the way I'm used to. And having to break things up because of just file size limits has been just a pain. Well, thankfully a lot of stuff is not going to be an issue. Yeah, I'm looking forward to getting through the rest of the Skyrim thing. I'm ready to be done with Skyrim. I really want to start working on my next, like, sort of in-between project video. Ooh, but yeah, I'm ready to be done with Skyrim. Because the next video I wanted to work on was the revamp for the Transformer, or not the Transformers video, but specifically, but like... Yeah, Doom is going to be the next game that I'm going to give like a commentary towards, and I do plan to do the 2016 Doom. I do plan to do the 2016 Doom, Doom Eternal, and the Dark Ages. I just need to give the Dark Ages a little bit of time because I don't know when the DLC is going to come out. But I will be going through those sort of one at a time. I'm not going to make it like the Modern Warfare trilogy where I did all of them in one video. I'm going to do Doom 2016 as a video, then Eternal as a video, and then Dark Ages as a video. One, to get videos out sooner. Shut up, I'm talking. But yeah, I'm Doom is the next one. I'm gonna be going through that trilogy soon, which should be fun. But before I fully sort of start on that, I've got a Transformers video lined up that's going to be the new format for the Remembering series, which I think will be fun. I'm gonna get this one rant out of the way real quick, and then I'm gonna do this guy's quest. But it's kind of, when you look at the box office for Transformers, the harsher the reviews came, the more money it seemed to make for a little bit of time. And then the last night flipped that around, where it like had a significant drop, and then every movie after that has just slowly gone down in revenue. And it's been really weird to watch. But, I'll talk about the Transformers video more in a second, because I actually want to talk about the way the Remembering series has been restructured, because there is something worth saying with that. Yeah, they've still been pretty successful, surprisingly, even with poor reviews. Yeah. Well, the Transformers were sort of like one of the... I won't say first, but they were one of the... They were one of the first major franchises that got to benefit from extensive CGI work in a medium that could translate really well internationally, right? So the story didn't matter so much as the overall sort of vibe, and the special effects could sort of like wow the audience a lot easier because of just how sort of crazy they were, right? And you kind of see that when you look at the box office of the films. You know, like the first Transformers had a pretty even split between, you know, intake from, you know, like domestically versus internationally. Revenge of the Fallen had a bigger... What the fuck? Go away, Epic Games. The fuck are you doing? I'm going to fail this challenge now. Oh, damn it. My game just fucked all up because of some... That was lame. Alright. Shit, what was I talking about? Damn it. This is just going all wrong. I should have a chat pop up where I can see shit. Okay. I think I can... Okay. Sorry about that. Just everything decided to fuck up. But, yeah, just the basic gist is as the Transformers series became more successful, the domestic box office slowly went down, but the international box office went up. Which is kind of funny to think about. You know, because it's like, as the films got even more, like, explodey and, like, over the top with the action, the more international audiences ate it up, but, you know, the less, like, at least North Americans liked it. Which is kind of funny in a way. But... I mean, it kind of makes sense, right? If you make a story, you know, a special effects extravaganza, and you just get crazier with it, then people that don't care about the language of the story will be able to jump into it and enjoy it more, which makes sense. All right, I'm gonna wrap this guy's story up. Then I'm gonna talk about my Remembering video for Transformers 2007. Yeah. So regarding the Transformers video I've been working on, it's no secret that I wanted to reformat the Remembering series of videos that I want to do, where it's essentially like a movie and TV show review type of thing. And instead of making it like the analysis of my sort of gaming shit, instead of doing it like that, I wanted to change it up and turn it into something that's kind of a blend of random film talks, sort of going through videos thing, and the sort of CinemaSins like point system. But focusing mainly on sort of entertainment value and how those things sort of co-mingle into a product. So what I've come up with is Transformers is going to be the first of its kind, where we go through the film scene by scene, going over all the positives and or negatives of each moment in the scene. And we'll just go through the entire movie front to back, and we'll keep a tally of all the positives, all the negatives, and at the end, we'll tally them up, and we'll get a ratio, and that ratio puts the film within a particular tier. And I've rated tiers in sort of a Jeremy Johns-esque sort of way, where we've got like, you know, like at the top of the list is absolute cinema, and at the bottom I think is Dung Eater is what I wrote. So I figured that would be a fun way to have a rating system. And also kind of keep people sort of engaged in terms of like, oh, we're keeping track of score. Let's see how this thing scores. And also going through all the things that are good in the story in a way that... all the things that are good or bad in a story in a way that I've not really I've not really seen a lot of people do this. Like, one thing that I like the way that EFAP covers the story side of things and the logistics of it all, but I also like the idea of going over the entertainment value just in terms of just pure entertainment value. So I wanted to make a system that was both sort of numerically interesting, kind of like the Cinnamon Sins videos can be, where it's like, oh, how many dings are they going to get? But I also wanted to make a video that was going over the positives and negatives and give short little blurbs as to why these things were positive or negative, as opposed to doing a full-on analysis of it like the way I did before. And this production sort of cycle for this project is a lot faster than my initial stuff. Why did my stuff get rearranged? But it's basically just a way for me to try to do something different that also do something different that I can produce quickly, because I was able to produce this thing quickly because I basically just I watched the film once just to kind of refresh myself on it, and then I watch it again and slowly take notes about all the positives and negatives in it, and then at the end I just do a simple tally. I write the script down sort of like as I'm going through the film, and so by the time I'm done with the film, I just need to write a little bit about the reception to it in terms of box office stuff that I like to talk about, and then move on and do and just record the script, right? So it's a very quick turnaround process. Like, I could probably do one video a week if I had enough time to do it, right? I do a bunch of other stuff, so it's not going to be that fast, but it'd be a quick turnaround for stuff that I like to talk about and stuff I would like to talk about. So that's sort of just where I'm at in terms of that project becoming its own sort of thing very soon, once Skyrim is done. Back, had to take a call there. Did you explain the changes to your Remembrance series? I did, but I can go over it again if you would like. So yeah, the basic change is just I'm gearing. I want to have like a score system, kind of like CinemaSins does, but it's for positives and negatives. And I want to have a Jeremy John style ranking system where anything within a certain score range gets like a funny phrase to symbolize what it is. You know, and so just kind of do shit like that and just have fun with it. And also, I'm not doing like an analysis like my video game sections have with their sort of analysis sections. I wanted to make it more, more sort of focused on whatchamacallit. I wanted to make it focused on the entire sort of score of the thing, as opposed to like an analytical view of just the plot. You know, like you typically get from like EFAP or something. I wanted to make it more focused on I just wanted to make it more focused on entertainment value overall, not just as does the plot make sense. You know.
That nutjob has some splaining to do.
Oh god, he said splainin'. Kill me now. Alright, so let's see. It's called Why So Many Blockbusters Actually Lose Money, and he has not so subtle digs at Superman's James Gunn. I prefer Super Gunn's James Man as the title. I think it flows off the tongue much better. Kind of regret that me and the missus contributed to its international box office, debating whether to see Fantastic Four or not in the cinema. That's the thing. Yeah, I mean, I can imagine where Drinker's going with this, where it's probably just like these people just spend so much damn money on these movies, there's like no hope of breaking even anymore. Because I mean, like, wasn't the production budget of Superman like in the like upper $300 million range, which is just not feasible for long-term success. But yeah, just like movies need to stop having budgets in the like $500 million range. Like, it seems like all these big blockbuster films are moving towards that, and it's like, this is just a bad idea. Was surprised with Az's review of Fantastic Four, giving it a 6.5 out of 10. Yeah, the budget is mad and they're marketing for it. My missus only really liked it for crypto, haha. That seems to be the generic thing, is all the women like crypto because women like dogs. And I mean, men like dogs too, but it's like, come on, man, like, have at least a little bit of a higher standard than just, oh, it's cute. But yeah, I've not heard a lot of the stuff about Fantastic Four yet. Like, I still got to watch Open Bar and FNT for this week. Yeah, I'm a couple of days behind on everybody, but I've been seeing the videos of everybody going, hey, Fantastic Four wasn't as bad as we thought, or something like they've hinted at that in titles, right? Or maybe it's just me being like facetious or something. Or maybe it's them being facetious. I don't know. But yeah. This is a weird thing, right? Like I normally try to watch every open bar, every F&T, and every like, you know, I normally try to watch all of the things that I watch between Real BBC, EFAP, open bar, and F&T. I think I didn't. I think that's the one I didn't say yet. So, but after the initial like coverage of Superman, I just have not given a shit about the movie. Like, I'm just waiting for the actual box office to come through. You know, by the end of its run, I don't really need to watch like 5 different streams of people saying, "Hey, it's not doing too well," to realize it's not doing well at the end of it all. So, I kind of tuned out of a bunch of stuff, and so I might be a little bit out of the loop as a result of things like that. Matchmaker, matchmaker, give me a match. Give her great tits and a great ass. Oh man, there's so many good musical songs from like musicals that you could turn into very funny things. Yeah, we've completely different tastes in shows, movies, so it makes it tough to keep up to date with things. Yeah, I can imagine. In a way, that's good though, because it shows that it lets you expose each other to different ideas. It's one thing my wife and I have done. I got her into superhero stuff, and she loves Batman now. And she's gotten me into some different things that I've liked, like the Addams Family and the Sweeney Todd. Things that I was like, that's kind of cool. Only thing we have in common is musicals. We're banking on the relationship lasting and have tickets for Mamma Mia in December. Hey, man, I mean, if you don't invest for it lasting, it probably won't. So, I mean, it's good to work towards a goal that can lead you both to having fun and getting closer. That's some weird thing about, like, I'm a bitch when it comes to musicals. It's like there are certain types of like I like musicals where the music is a poignant sort of epitomization of the actual emotions in a given scene. But when you've got people like singing and dancing, like when it should be a serious scene, that rubs me the wrong way, and I just want to like die inside. Like I cringe overload. Like I love the sound of music. I love Fiddler on the Roof. And when I watched like an old 60s version of West Side Story, and I just couldn't stop giggling to myself when like the 2 gangs were getting ready to fight, and they were dancing and snapping everywhere, and I was like, bro, I want to cringe into my like asshole if this keeps up. It was just one of those things that completely took me out of the experience. All right, got any tips for Dying Light 1? Let's see. Looking forward to playing something that isn't Dark Souls. Still annoyed I've gotten 2 Black Knight weapons when I'm sticking with Reinforced Club as my main weapon. Yeah, I mean, the thing that I would say for Dying Light is learn the Infected's sort of exploits is probably the earliest thing I would say, because most regular Infected can't climb cars very well. So as long as you stay on top of a car, or on the top of a van, you can crouch down and hit them without being hit by them in any sort of serious manner. That's generally a good rule of thumb, is a fight on cars if you can. Another one is loot as many dumpsters as you can, whether it's like trash bins or actual like dumpsters with just tons of crap in them, because the dumpsters will have low-tier weapons that you can use if you need a weapon, or you can scrap those for repair, for metal scraps to repair your weapons. And the trash bins will also give you metal scraps directly. And those are the biggest things I think would help. It's just, if you wanted sort of like broad things, explore and loot. Exploring and looting are the biggest things that will help you throughout the whole process. It was funny watching the highlights of Dark Souls Trilogy and how little the gameplay of each game was discussed. Yeah, it was more just sort of like a random ranting of different shit as we sort of went through it all. Anime waifu chat and stuff. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Dude, there is so much shit in that video that we talked about, man, that was just not Dark Souls related. And it was funny. That's one reason why I like doing the highlights from different sort of streams where we're just kind of dicking around. It gets very funny with what we get up to sometimes.
No, I don't have the time.
How sad.
Yeah, I'm not doing these. I'm not doing these fucking questionnaire quests, man. They're just so fucking boring. And they don't do anything. Right? They just have us, like, they have us try to go through information that we may have missed. Alright, more air vents. That's going to be helpful. It's kind of weird how the survivors give you parkour stuff and the peacekeepers give you weapons and shit. It's like thematically I can kind of understand that, but on a mechanical level it means that you, whatever side you pick, they're going to give you a bunch of one thing when both sides should absolutely want to use both things, right? So it's a weird sort of it's a weird sort of thing where mechanically people might pick a side that they hate just to get the cool shit that they provide. You know what I mean? Like halving it up between the two I think would have been a better way to sort of manage like who gives what rewards. Is there any games coming out this year you're looking forward to? Not really much for me other than the Final Fantasy VII Remake releasing on Xbox later this year. I mean, I'm excited for Dying Light the Beast. I'm curious of what they're going to do with it. I'm not really sure what else, because I've got a bunch of games I want to play in my backlog, so I haven't really looked around through a bunch of shit that I can do sort of recently. It's mainly just Dying Light the Beast and probably whatever Doom the Dark Ages DLC is whenever it comes out, if it comes out this year or next year. I don't know at this point. Just there's not much else that I'm really looking forward to that I've not already got that's an older game, if that makes sense. I got lucky and got Metro Exodus for free on Xbox last month. Damn, that's lucky. I still need to play it.
Luan, you there?
I like the first two games. I just
Luan.
didn't get around to playing it. So I figured I'd replay them. A 100% discount was quite shocked. That is quite shocking. Oh, Metro Redux? Yeah, that makes a lot more sense. For Exodus to be free, just like, holy shit, man. Gave it a go, but reckon I'll need to sit down when in the mood for it. Heard good things about the Metro games. They're a really good atmospheric game, or set of games, from what I've played of the first two. Very atmospheric. They deal with the atmosphere. The atmosphere of the game is probably the best aspect of it.
Get inside.
The world building's very fun. There are choices in the game, but they're not very obvious. And some of the enemies can act a little retarded. It's the best way I could put it. One of the regular like beast enemies you'll encounter hop around a lot in the Redux version, and they look kind of funny and silly. Is there many callbacks to the first game in the sequel? I mean, in my experience, having played the game fully like once and then this run through, I've not seen a whole lot. Yeah. But yeah, in terms of callbacks, there's not that many. There's like a few things in the intro and near the end, but the majority of the game is largely independent of the first game outside of just main story events of like the GRE were involved with zombies and shit. And then they fucked up again and it got even worse. New Quest Observatory. Oh damn, just noticed you're doing member-only videos. How dare you? I'm sorry. Yeah. I just wanted to have sort of something, like, there. They're basically just like little vlogs, pretty much. They're not really important. It's just something I wanted to throw together just to kind of have available. But yeah, I wanted to have something sort of ready for people, like if they wanted to become members in the future. So I figured, a vlog is pretty much the only thing I don't put up already. So I figured I might as well do that. Just some sort of vlog thingy where it's just kind of me going over the week, talking about life and shit. I'm the knife master, bitches.
But oh well.
That was weird. Instantly kill him first, and he's like, shit. Well, why was that straggler just taking his time?
Final question, good sir.
I have learned that Driscoll from the Carriers Guild has acquired an interesting nickname. Do you know it?
Driscoll? Carriers Guild? Nope. None of that rings a bell.
Oh, but Driscoll is one of my personal heroes. You'll know why when you meet him. I hope you do. You really need to get out and meet more people. Obviously. You, sir, need to bear better witness to your fellow citizens.
Wow.
Come back when you've learned enough to answer all 4 questions correctly.
Wow, that fucking sucks. That fucking sucks. I haven't encountered a quest line yet. And it's gonna lock me out of this fucker's quest. Damn, game, you're just gonna waste my time. Fuck you. Fuck you. That's one of those moments that's definitely a, hey, fuck you, buddy.
Go, then. Come back when you have acquired its blood.
I like how it doesn't mention how much he actually needs. It's just like, bring back blood. So do you want like a cup? You want a pint? You want like a couple gallons? How much do you need, dude? How much do you need? I need to use the bow some. I can't pick up any arrows. That makes things kind of boring when I can't pick up any more ammo for a thing, even if there's like room in my inventory for it. That's one thing I don't like about inventory systems in some games, is when they have like an arbitrary metric of, oh, you have this many slots to carry this many weapons, but you can't carry any like extra ammo beyond this point because. It's like, well, why not? I really don't like how the inhibitor animation just like continues to do inhibitor shit. It's like, I wish I could loot things in a way where I didn't have to wait for the animation to finish before I could loot other stuff. You know, like you should loot it like a regular item and it just have the pop-up appear. You know, you shouldn't have a special animation that it repeats over and over and over between the however many inhibitors in the game you have. Because I mean, when you really get down to it, you have what, like, let's see, it's like how this isn't the exact amount, but it's like however many levels you have, right? So there's like 26 levels, so there's like 25 of that and 25 of that you get up. It's like, that's what, 25 times 3? No, that's 50 times, that's 150 inhibitors that you have to go through the animation for. Or, like, maximum, right? That's not all of them, but you know what I mean. It's just one of those things that I don't think is, you know, you generally want to have things work efficiently for gaming's sake, if you can. Like, if you can make animations, like, quick and painless like this, you know, like the basic looting thing of just grabbing, like that, right? It works perfectly fine. Makes sense in the world, goes quickly in terms of, like, gameplay, it works. You know, looting bags and stuff, that also works. No, game, I wasn't hitting the fucking button for that. Damn it. This is one of those things where I was trying to run past this thing, was not hitting E. Game decided I was hitting E.
Hey, you.
I just never realized I screwed that up. I thought that was one of those things where like a guy was on top of him looting a body, but I massively misread that situation. Have any of you seen a child? And not floating zombies. Weird things must happen around here. I'll be glad when some of these repetitive tasks are done with, because I don't mind like having like things like this where you run around and turn things on, but when you do them so many times over a short span of time, it does get really repetitive. Like annoyingly repetitive. Oh, don't tell me there's an active story limit before we can actually come here. There's an active story limit. Yay! Wonderful. Fuck. This is the thing, right? Is this quest messed up because I already did the water tower? Why are there why are there so many issues? That's a recurring problem with this whole thing. Is like, why are there so many issues with this game? Okay, it's from this point on that it's irradiated. Okay.
Luan, yeah, you were right. Only ruins left. Luan? Hey, Major Matt? Aiden here.
Aiden, good to hear you, son.
You said maybe you could help me out. I'd like to ask how.
Not over the radio. Come to the ship, to the main HQ. I'll be there soon myself.
All right. What the?
Are we getting another flashback sequence?
What the f...
Let's get the hell out of here, Greg.
Hey, wait! Stay away! Hey!
What the fuck just happened here?
That's a weird quest. Why did we have the observatory quest if we're just gonna, like, walk over there, get triggered by something, and then not have anything happen? Like what's the actual fucking point? Like, what's the actual fucking point of going over there? If we walk over there, say boo-hoo, it's destroyed, and then we freak out and teleport somewhere else. And Jack Mack contacts us and says, hey, meet us at the ship. It's like, what kind of quest is that? That's the whole quest. It's kind of funny how many safe zones there are in this game that nobody bothered to just walk into and, like, start a generator up. It's like, you'd think that people would care enough about survival to, you know, actively search this shit out. Anyway, let's head back over here, make some story progress. I know there's a bunch of quests in the Peacekeeper boat, so hopefully that'll unlock some stuff that we can mess with. I've noticed some of these quests unlock before you can actually complete them. Like that one quest with the questions about different stuff. It's like the game knew that... It's like the game knew about Thalia, but you couldn't access Thalia before the quest pops up for the questions. But then you have other content where it's like, hey, I'm going to ask you about the couriers, which are not unlocked yet, but I'm not going to continue the quest because you haven't unlocked them yet. And it's like, I haven't unlocked Thalia yet either. Like, how the fuck does the system work? You know, it's just a broken system.
Thank you. I'll contact you if I hear anything.
What the fuck's going on here? What? What was what was that pop-up for? Why are some of these quests like level 8? Oh, I bet these unlock when you reach level 8, and that's why they're level 8. This is the weird thing, right? Like I sided fully with the Peacekeepers in my initial run, and they screwed me over in the end game, and I don't really know if that's like because I made certain decisions about saving people that were survivors or not. Like, I don't know where some of the choices in the... I'm going to rant about this for a second. Some of the choices in the game are not very clear in terms of what, like, if they actually matter or not. And so you have certain points where you can't really tell if you're going to side with the Peacekeepers by making a decision or if you're going to side with the survivors by doing a decision. And so you end up with this weird state of, I want to make a choice. I have a choice to make, but I'm ill-informed on how the impacts of these, you know, decisions are going to impact the quest, like, or my faction reputation, right? Sometimes it's not obvious, and sometimes it's not even subtle either. Like it's just like you just don't know how things are going to play out without having X, Y, or Z like happen. It's just kind of.
Hope we have good luck.
It's not a very good choice system, you know, when it's sort of up in the air. Like, you have to play the game like a couple times over to really understand where the choices are and where they matter, which I think is sort of the hallmark of a bad system when it doesn't tell you how it works as it sort of goes, especially when it regards choice in a game this long that takes this long to go through.
Where is Matt?
In the field. He came across a lead in Old Villador. You gotta wait. I think you can go see Matt. He should be in his quarters by now.
What? What? You literally just said he was in the field. I'm so damn confused about how this works. Like, I totally understand people, like, working collectively to write a game and stuff like that, but there comes a point where it just feels like... It feels like the game was written by multiple people in stages. Like, stage 1 was written by one group of people. Stage 2 of the game was written by another set of people. And then there was, like, 2 or 3 people that came in afterwards and tried to stitch a bunch of the things together. Like, it feels sort of disjointed, I guess is the best way I can put it.
I'll do my part, but what guarantee do I have that you'll help me after?
You don't trust me, Aiden?
I haven't been here that long, but I can already tell that kept promises are rare in this city.
If we don't find any of the GRE scientists, I promise I'll get Waltz for you.
Wow. Aiden literally says, I've learned not to trust people. And then the guy's just like, well, you just have to trust me, bro. It's like, that's the best I can do. I'm just going to sit here on my knee and just think about this is a really good exercise for your entire leg muscles. Oh, it's still nighttime. It still counts. It still counts. Are you fucking kidding me? I lagged into it. Ah, damn it. I remember this challenge actually pissing me off when I initially tried to do it because my glider just gave up on me and just wouldn't work, and so I just rage quit it back when the game... This was one of those games that had like a massive like day 1 or day 2 patch. I remember looking it up once, and it's like their first patch fixed like 1,000 bugs. It's like, holy shit, man. I'm tempted to do some of the DLC stuff just for shits and giggles, but there's a part of me that also doesn't want to do it because it'll just serve as bloat to what we're trying to do. Like, the whole point of replaying these games is to prepare for Dying Light the Beast, right? Which I don't even really know if I actually have to play Dying Light 2 in order to play the Beast. It seems like it's not really a sequel to Dying Light 2 so much as it is a sequel to, you know, what the that was huge. This is kind of weird how they, like, have... This is weird, right? It's like, you have all these different safe combinations that you actually have to input it yourself. This just feels like a strange twist on that for no real reason.
Right. Michael? What's with the lights? Hello?
The fuck are we doing right now? This is a weird quest. It's like I got sucked into like a pocket dimension or some shit. I don't know what we just did. I don't get it. Oh, these are the twins.
Doorways, if you will. This is all highly hypothetical.
Yeah, it's the twins. Yeah, Tolga and Fatine. They went so far to create interdimensional portals. Is this Isla from the first game? I wonder now.
The pollution?
This is just... Like, what even are these missions, man? Who wants some? Good lord, I love being overpowered. It's so much fun. Oh man, I'd almost forgotten the feeling of what it's like to be overpowered after playing so much Souls content for like a shit ton of videos and things. It's like, holy shit, it's such a breath of fresh air to play a game where you can be overpowered. Doing these quests is kind of funny to see what Tolga and Fatine are up to, but at the same time I kind of do want to get back to like the regular game. How do I do this game? You're not... Game, are you gonna let me do shit? I've got the fucking gloves on. Okay, I have to do some weird shit like this. Yeah, quest failed. Yeah. You didn't tell me how to do it. Also, it doesn't help that I have to hold an item and throw it around while dealing with a bunch of fucking virals. These missions are very just not great. I hope this quest doesn't go on forever, because the content's starting to grate on me just because of the weird guidance in it. This is kind of grindy, and I kind of don't want to do it anymore. Maybe we're near the end. Let's hope that we're near the end. This quest is very grindy for no good reason. I kind of want to get this quest done and just never speak of it again. So I'm sorry if I'm kind of quiet. I have to look away. This quest is just giving me a headache at this point. Also, why the fuck do we have to go through this area so damn slow? I mean, like, doing random spazzy shit like that does more than some of this other shit. I'm trying to dodge away, game. Do your fucking mechanics. Jesus Christ, game. How many are you gonna spam me with? Fuck off. Yay, it's finally over. We can move on with our lives. Oh, man. The idea for that was neat, but it was very annoying. Very annoying. It got very annoying very quick and very repetitive. Very bloated.
No kidding.
Would you like me to make a scarecrow for you?
Sure, why not?
Yes, please. Would you use glitter on it too?
Oh, don't be silly. I'm taking this very seriously. Come back later and see if you like it.
Aw, I don't get to customize it? That's lame. How do you say lame in French? It's lame. I turned into like a French Trump there for a second. That's not a good impression.
Aiden? I didn't know you were an artist. Can I help you?
Yeah, I wanted to make a scarecrow with big tits. I feel like that's what I would try to do in a zombie apocalypse, you know, just make a scarecrow that's aesthetically pleasing. This is one of those things that I wonder, right, with this quest specifically, is I wonder if the game doesn't register. Like, I wonder if the game gets screwed up if you clear this area before you do this quest. People play games differently, right, in terms of, like, progression when you make them open world and stuff like that, right? Like, I try to do all the fucking side content before main shit. And so there might be, like, a missed sort of thought process when it comes to, like, finding stuff. Yeah, this all seems like repetitive stuff just to keep things going. Game, may I sprint? You're not letting me sprint. Why are you not letting me sprint? Okay, I think my sprint key was screwed up there for a second. I think it still might be. I can't sprint now. Oh, that's great. Let's hope a cutscene fixes it. That's weird. My shift key works. It's just not doing the sprint shit that I do. That's annoying as hell. Something I just now realized, the word pilgrim doesn't really entail anything like nefarious by like the typical sort of moniker. Like a pilgrim is typically just someone who like migrates basically, right? Or moves away from somewhere or is on a journey. Doesn't really entail anything nefarious when you really break it down. It's kind of weird. Every time that I hear that sort of like faux Jamaican accent, I kind of want to go and watch Pirates of the Caribbean. Just any of them. Well, except the fifth one. The fifth one's notoriously sort of like crap by comparison to the other ones. But yeah, like my shift key works. Like certain abilities are working correctly on it. It's just other ones are not. Like I can't sprint. Maybe dying will reset my random movement inability. Because I'm certain the key is... See, it's working fine now. It's just random bug, I guess. Time to fight a demolisher, don't you know? This is just strange. Why can I only have, like... Like, the numbers are just all over the place. It's like, why can I have certain numbers of each? The ammo for these things are just not... They're just weird. There's no better word for it. They're just odd. They are just strange. Come on, why can't I unlock it? I'm looking right the fuck at it, man. It's alive! I don't know why that's my favorite noise to make whenever I think of like crazy people, but I think it's just because it's a sound that I can easily make. This is one thing that is kind of a random rant, but I always like games that have some sort of like passive health regeneration effect, whether you unlock it through leveling up or you pick certain items and stuff like that. And I wish every game had some of that stuff going on, you know? But anyway, let's see this.
Hello, darling.
It's so nice to hear your voice again, Megan.
There were no crinkle cut fries, so I bought plain ones. You don't mind, do you?
Sure, they can be plain.
Why don't we watch something tonight? I'll be home soon. Bye.
Is that your wife?
Yes, my Megan. My beloved Megan. We're watching a movie together tonight. Can you recommend anything?
I think you should let Megan choose.
You're right. Thanks for the help. Me and Megan, we're so very grateful. I have some of her jewelry. She hasn't been dressing up much lately. Please, take it.
I don't need it, and it sure means a lot to you.
She does look quite stunning wearing it. Thank you.
I'm glad you're together again.
Oh, man. It's always those sort of like old relationships when you like lose a partner that are the ones that sort of like get me. Those are the ones that really kind of like make me go, aw, that's sad. Funnily enough, it's the young relationships that I don't give a shit about. The ones that just started. It's like, okay, whatever. Don't really care. It's kind of funny how this is one of the quests that is like the thirstiest I've ever seen like Dying Light fans become. Better yet, like it's kind of nice that this is a, you know, this is like a woman that's not just, you know, she's got a brain. She wants our opinions on literature and shit. She's not just a whore. You know, it's nice to not have the fandom simping over a whore. I hate how you can parkour over the majority of the game, but you can't parkour here. Like, I'm hitting the jump button. It's just the game is like, no, you don't get to do the basic mechanics we gave you when in a base. Because that would be fun. That would be interesting. That would be dynamic. We don't want you doing that. No. Bad player. Bad player trying to use mechanics. See, if parkour was enabled, I could just jump up there. But no. In the parkour game, we have to make it where you can't parkour when inside a base. Because that is a smart decision. We believe that to be smart. Instead, you have to navigate the labyrinth that is this fucking place. Hello, Thalia.
Hi, Aiden. I'm Thalia. So, you're the pilgrim Albert told me is helping us rebuild humanity's library.
I am.
Albert's a wonderful man. I only hope others will appreciate what he's trying to do. We're not in the middle of the Renaissance, you know. Few people read. What about you?
What about me?
Do you read?
When I can. Not often.
Then tell me what you think. Between the Bible and Hans Christian Andersen's fairy tales, which would you consider a better guide to human behavior?
I remember having this conversation like way back in my thing where it was like, I'm not familiar with Hans Christian Andersen's work as much as I am the Bible, but I feel like the Bible is a more all-encompassing thing because it deals with the human condition on sort of like a fundamental level in terms of what we perceive as virtue and what we perceive as sin, right? And so that's sort of like, and while it's not like something that everyone adheres to, it's like, I feel like there's more information to glean from the Bible than from one man's writings, if you know what I mean. So.
The Bible, I guess. I mean, isn't it the Word of God?
Wouldn't you have to believe in God for that to be true? And a particular version of God at that. I must speak to Albert now. Perhaps we'll talk again.
Wait, you're Silencio?
Yeah. You familiar with my art?
That's not art. I don't want to be a dick.
No, sorry.
You should be. I'm the creme de la creme. Way more cool than Frank and them, huh?
I have no way of picking up what you're laying down. The virus must have really cramped your style.
Cramped, but not necrotic. I'm better than ever.
How's that?
Just listen, man. Throw me a word, and I'll freestyle for you.
Let's go goat. Let's be funny with it.
Goat.
Goat? Are you fucking serious? That's whack.
How about, the Peacekeepers?
Tough one. They got no style, they got no rhythm. And all they want is for us to join with them. Acting peaceful when for fights they're keen. Just like the lushes in Frankie's canteen. Dope, right? Lay another one on me.
Okay, volatile.
Fast and furious, I can see that you're curious. Who's scared of them most? Acts like he's seen a ghost. Wanna scare Frank? Play a volatile prank. Of all my rhymes, that was not the most fine. Hit me with another word.
Well, I'm sensing that you're not a big fan of Frank.
Really? Why'd you say that? Just an easy rhyme to make, man.
Not really. You came up with some excruciating rhymes just to diss Frank.
Excruciating. You disrespecting me? The one and only Silencio?
You're not Silencio. With rhymes like those, it's clear you just pose. My guess is you're just some wannabe that Frank won't let perform at the canteen.
Yeah, but only because I'm underage, not because I suck.
Man, this is the thing, right? I kind of like both answers.
Grow up then, and stop pretending you're someone you're not. And I'm sure Frank would be more friendly if you cut down on insulting him.
I'll think about it. Meantime, check this out. A ticket to my last gig, fool. Told you I was the one and only Silencio. Ha!
That's one thing that's never really translated to me, right? In like the whole like hip hop world is why so many hip hop songs have that like ha, right? Like, or like I don't even know what you describe it, right? It's just like they'd say like words, right? That like mean something in the context of like a sentence or a verse or whatever, and then they go like ha ha at the end of it or some shit like that. Like I never understood the sarcastic laughter throughout hip hop. It makes it sound like it's all a joke to me, and maybe that's just my perception of it, just because I'm not a hip hop guy. But I don't know. Just it's always been a weird thing I've noticed that just kind of undermines the whole vibe of, you know. Like if you're trying to be gangsta, right? You laughing constantly throughout your song makes me not take it seriously, right? So maybe that's just a me thing. Maybe hip hop has an issue that needs to be resolved. Who knows? Anyway, that's my hip hop rant. Have fun.
Hello, Aiden. I see you've brought back a collection of Shakespeare's works for Albert. Are you familiar with Romeo and Juliet?
I guess.
Tell me, do you believe in love?
I like how her breasts are center stage here. He's not looking at her face directly.
Love of which Shakespeare
It says a lot, doesn't it? It says a lot. Let's see. This is the don't give a shit about it. Yes, I'm a dreamer, or I did once, and I have a tragic backstory. I would say I actually do kind of believe in fated love to a certain extent. But to me, it comes down to what the actual fate is, not the actual love part of it, if that kind of makes sense.
I'd like to think so. I just haven't seen a lot of it in my life.
It's true. Even simple affection seems in scarce supply these days. But the hope... it's the hope that can make it possible. If not now, then later. As the fates decree. Speaking to you, Aiden, has once again been a revelation. I look forward to your next visit. It's a welcome break for me. For you too, I hope. Here's a new list. Watch out for yourself.
Ironically enough, like, doing these quests makes me want to read books. I know, imagine it, right? Like, you do a quest about books, and it makes you want to partake in the booking. I need to go through and just look for a bunch of different, like, classical books about things. I feel like I should broaden my horizons a little bit. Read different works of, you know, read different levels of great literature from the past, from different cultures. I feel like it would be good for my brain just to constantly read something before bed that has profoundly affected people across different generations. Also be good for, you know, me and my family to have more open minds, more open-minded perspectives. Like, how would you word that? It would also help my English. Help me speak a little better. Let's go do that. I really don't want to talk to what's his face? What's his name? Juan. I remember him being really fucking annoying, and me not liking him, so I kind of don't want to interact with him, but it's for the story. I guess I have to. He's Juan, annoying guy. He's Juan, major pain in the ass. I'm just gonna keep thinking about Juan jokes now. See, now I forget, is Hakon actually dead if we left him for dead or not? Because this is the one thing about the ending of the game I remember being kind of lame, was that a lot of you get a bunch of text at the end of the game that says, "Hey, this thing happened," and it's one of those things where it's like, you know, Hakon lived, so Lawan lived when you left her behind to da 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 da. It's one of those sort of endings where you don't really get the cinematics of it all. You get like the raw details of it, just in text form. It would be like it would be like if Return of the King, you know, had like, and the ending of Return of the King simply said, Aragorn was crowned king, the hobbits came back different people, and Frodo left the Grey Havens. Right? You don't get any emotional impact in the situation when you say it like that. Oh, look, another parkour challenge. What will we do without the parkour challenges all over the fucking map? Feels like a strange overcorrection to have, like, all these parkour... Like, look how many of these fuckers there are around. It's like, dude, I should be able to just do parkour shit and get enough points. It's sort of a weird roundabout way of admitting, hey, our system for getting XP has been fucked. Here, you just get lump sums of it after doing challenges and shit. You know, we're gonna litter the game with them, because our basic system as it stands now is much less efficient than it was previously. Juan, where are you? You're getting on my Juan last nerve. I can't even think of a good Juan joke anymore. We've got one chance to do this right. I think, anyway.
In this kind of weather,
I hate Juan. Just I'm not a fan of Juan as a character. He's just kind of the decadent prick that you kind of want to slap in the face in every interaction, and I want to do that. So that's where I'm at. Yeah, fuck you guys. Oh, that's not a target. Okay. Wow, game, wow. You see, it's not a good idea to put your roll forward key with your release tension on bow key. It's fucking hell. Unavailable. Progress the story to unlock it. Why do you keep locking shit away? Why are you like this game? Why don't you want me to have fun with your shit? I don't think you're supposed to be able to do that, but fuck it.
But you might find some in the GRE field
Oh my god.
in the cathedral.
Why? I was literally just there, combing that place. Like the desert in Spaceballs, I was combing it. And I was being too literal. Damn it. I hate when you run around and explore a place in a video game, you know, and then as soon as you leave and think, oh, I'm done, you find out that you have to go there to do a quest when you just spent like 10 minutes exploring it and trying to figure out ways to go. It's hard to take somebody seriously when they have dyed hair in a zombie apocalypse, you know? Especially when the apocalypse has been going for like years. It's like, that just doesn't seem like a thing that you should really prioritize, you know? I don't see any other I really wonder if we've done the majority of side content at this point, because it seems like most of it's not locked behind main missions like the previous. Like Dying Light 1 was a much better paced game in terms of how you unlocked content. You know, every main mission you would unlock certain amounts of like quests, you know, and they'd often relate to whatever it is you happen to have done in the main mission previously, right? Like a good example is the school quest, right? You know, you go through the school, you find the explosives, you get out, right? During that, you know, after that quest, people move into the school and they start living there. You know? And they have quests and needs and stuff like that. That takes place in the school because you've done something in the school, so now you're familiar with the area, and then there's people in there that are living there now because, you know, you've interacted with it. And so now the game can put stuff there and say, hey, people live here now. Now you can do stuff here because you've already been here. It's a good flow between main content, unlocking side content, and so on. It's just, this game seems very random by comparison. Where it's just kind of like, yeah, things just kind of happen, and you'll be around sometimes. That's something that I don't really like about this game in terms of like the balancing of it, because we tend to have huge chunks of doing the side content, and then we have a whole bunch of like doing like main shit like over and over.
New book location just discovered, Aiden. Are you available now? Drop by.
Oh, we can do more book club. Yes! It's 480. That's less damage and more expensive. I will say one thing about these staged quests is they're interesting on like a basic mechanical level, but when you or they're not really like they're not really that interesting, but like they're interesting enough where I don't get bored while doing them. It's just the repetitive nature can get boring when you do the same action over and over and over. It's kind of weird when you have quests that just go on and on and on and on. Like even if they like have like meaningful like differences in the way they work, sort of like Book Club and the Baba do, it's still kind of a trek to do them all because it's like go out, do a thing, come back, go through dialogue. Go out, do a thing, come back, go through dialogue, and you know that loop is fine, but when things don't really change, it gets really repetitive, you know. Now, granted, we are getting different amounts of books from different locations and different sort of like varieties. And the discussions after the fact, I think, are relatively engaging. But it's still that thing where it's like, we do the same shit over and over and over mechanically. And that can make everything feel a little bit more dull than it is. I really wish we could fast travel to safe houses. And I feel like I made this point earlier, but it's like we really should have the ability to, you know, fast travel to safe houses that are high up so we can use the glider instead of starting on the ground and then having to work our way back up to, like, use the shit. I feel like it would just make the gameplay experience smoother if we could fast travel to high places and just continue doing shit in high places. I feel like it would help the experience if we didn't have to constantly get back up in the air in order to use the mechanics of the thing in the air when we have tons of high places we can jump off of. There's one thing I'm not fond of in these quests either, is when you have to, like, you know, the Baba is a thing where you fast travel somewhere, then you have to parkour somewhere, right? You walk through like a room and like a tiny hallway, and then you're at there. Having to go back like through the bowels of the Peacekeeper base over and over is kind of just like, I kind of zone out when it happens most of the time, and I'm just like, get back to the store, get back to the store. Don't think about it, just get back to the store. I did a little research. So the Baba and Book Club end around 10 missions. The Baba ends at 10 missions, and Book Club has 10 missions, and then there's a follow-up where you go to Athalia's place and you hang out and cuddle aggressively with private parts. That's what I assume happens. I don't remember if they actually give any details about what you actually do there.
See you again. Soon, I hope.
This is one thing that's always gotten me about like certain combinations of sort of like aesthetics. It's I like I like the mixture of dark hair and bright eyes. I don't know what it is, but I think it's just because that's a rare combination. At least from what I understand, it's a pretty rare thing. You know, well, like when a woman has like black hair and blue eyes like she does, or if it's like dark hair and like green eyes or something. It makes both elements sort of pop. I think it's just pretty. That's the simple way to put it. I think it looks pretty. Me like contrast. There's one weird thing about the fast traveling is that you can kind of do it wherever. Doesn't matter if you're in combat or not. And it seems like such a thing that it feels like this game should restrict you on that based on all the other arbitrary restrictions that are in place. Right? Like, it's one of those things that I don't understand why games get restrictive in some spaces but not in others. And when it's like, you didn't have a point to be restrictive here, so why aren't you restrictive here?
Impressive selection, right?
The hell? Why is there still so much stuff to loot? Let's see, how do I get out of here? It might help if I look at the exit sign. That tends to be an indicator of where I can leave a place. My 4D chess move brain realized the exit sign means we can leave. I think one thing that kind of got me about parkour when I initially played the game was, like, the jump. Like, we essentially have, like, a magic jump. Like, with how high we can go. It's one of those things that I think really does sort of change, like, the parkour in a weird way that I'm not used to from the first game. And replaying the game now, after sort of knowing how some things were changed, makes the experience better this second time around. Also because they fixed issues. Not all of them, but a fair amount. See, as much as I like complained about repetitive quests, I actually think the book quest does a decent job of. The more I play it, the more I realize, as far as repetitive quests go in terms of objectives, this should I say these quests or this chain? I'll say this chain. This chain with the book quest stuff is very sort of layered in its repetitiveness because each time that you go get a bunch of books, you have a discussion on like one or two of the books, right? So each experience is different. The objective is the same, right? It's collect books from X amount of areas. But the packaging, I think, makes it more interesting when you discuss the sort of like thematic elements of the books you're actually picking up, right? It makes the quest feel more real as opposed to just go here, get thing, repeat. It gives it like extra layers when you add on the discussion about what you're actually getting each time. I think that's a nice way to sort of break up the monotony and keep it interesting. It's always kind of funny, like going through like some of these and be like, how does Aiden walk around with $38,000 worth of coins just in his pocket? Like, what's the actual like system here? Oh man. Again, I keep thinking of like some of my complaints about. It's like you give us a wingsuit and then you keep spawning us in fast travel points that are low to the ground. It's just counterintuitive if you want us to enjoy the like gliding mechanics. Let's put the best mom bucket. Got to represent Ghazi here. I kind of want to skip some of this stuff because I kind of know what's going on. This is just set up before they all die, So I kind of want to just skip this because I've already done it.
Brochure.
It's kind of funny how this is just like the info dump for Roe and his men before they all get killed.
Okay.
Keep calm, gentlemen. Oh.
Where's Bowski? Fuck. Sorry, boss. Won't say a peep.
You're off key, dumbass. It went like this.
Oh man, this is such a we are all about to die setup, and I kind of like
Commander,
it.
Sir, what's going? Where's Bowski? Recon.
I will say the tension's pretty good here. Like there's not a lot of sounds. It's just quiet. And that's usually the best tool in a horror game when it's like when you hear nothing.
Luan? Luan, I'm in trouble. The PKs are all dead.
I warned you. If you get yourself killed, I swear I'll come in there and find a way to bring your lifeless corpse back to life just so I can kill you myself.
Spare me the lecture, okay?
Just come down from there already.
I'm not coming down. I need to get higher. I'm gonna find a way up.
Fine. I'll wait.
Lawan's really not a help in these situations. She kind of acts like a bitch. It's like, I just watched a bunch of dudes die in front of me. You could be at least a little bit more understanding. A little bit more empathetic.
It's locked.
This is one thing about the accessories thing, man. You kind of lose access to these things the more like tools you get put onto your bar. I don't think you're supposed to be able to do this, but fuck it. I can do it, so I'm going to. Alright, before I do the objective, let's grab what we can here, because I remember that I got really pissed, because you get up here, you get a bunch of stuff, and then you get a cutscene where you follow Lawan, and it takes you away from the top of the building that you cannot warp to. I remember that being a huge complaint of mine, and I do not want to repeat that. Alright. It's kind of funny how we can, like, just sort of, like, wall hump our way up. We can kind of bypass the parkour in weird roundabout ways, and that's kind of a... That should be a problem in a game about parkour. Let's get a little boost here, just to help out. Wow, that hardly did shit. It's right there, game! What the fuck? Alright, let me see if I can, like, go into the building and if there's just, like, a straight shot to the top or something, because, like, there's so much finagling around, like, where you can, like, fast travel to that it just gets fucking annoying to deal with some of this shit. I'm tracking the thing. Can you please track the thing I'm trying to track, game? That would be nice. You know, do the bare minimum of what your mechanics say they should do. Alright, it says it takes me to the roof. Let's hope that works. I really wish this was just a teleport. It's like... Damn, man. This is one of those oversights you really need to consider when you do shit like this. Alright, let's attempt something here. We're going to go all the way back down here, empty this base again, take the elevator all the way back up, and then we're going to head towards there. Because I wonder if we can just bypass everything if we do it this way. I'm probably going to run out of stamina before we actually make the flight over there, but it's worth a shot. Alright, it takes about a minute and a half. That's not too bad, but in terms of, like, game time, that's not very good, because, you know, downtime in a video game is very important, but at the same time can be done very badly sometimes. Like, sitting in an elevator for a minute and a half, you feel those seconds going by. Man, you feel those things fucking moving. This is helpful, but really long-winded, I guess is the best way to put it. It's just, you have to wait for the elevator, then you have to wait while you're in the elevator, and I feel like it would just be faster if you just had, like the elevator was just open, you know, and then you click on, and then you hold, like, E on the floor that you want to go to, and then you just teleport up there, right? It'd be way faster than just sitting here and waiting for the elevator to get down. This is actually a good opportunity to rant about this. It's like when you look at the four sort of, like, changeable options down there, right? Why do we keep getting, like, survivor tools that we have to put on in, like, this tab, like the accessories thing, when we have that bottom tab with the flashlight? Like, why can't we have survivor stuff down there instead of taking, like, the places of our throwables and, like, weapons and shit? Like, it seems like it's a stupid way to go about having gear when you have that bottom thing just constantly being a flashlight. Like, why couldn't you, like, have it switch? Like, why not just have the flashlight be just inherently there, and then we switch out other tools for that bottom slot? Like, I don't understand why. There's so many like decisions in this game that make me go, how did you guys make Dying Light, right? And I remember bringing it up in my videos about Dying Light 2 when I initially played it. Was like, this is a very similar situation to Dark Souls. Like, this is a very similar situation to Demon Souls, Dark Souls 1 and Dark Souls 2, where the Demon Souls of this is like Dead Island, right? Which was like, it had good ideas, but there were some issues, right? And then you had, you know, sort of the Dark Souls of this being Dying Light come out. And then you have the Dark Souls 2 come out, which is this. And there's so many inconsistencies in this game in particular that it feels like it was made by a different team, right? Like it was made by people who did not make the previous game that was really good, right, for different reasons, right? Now, I'm not going to say this I'm not going to say that the first two iterations of the Dying Light sort of thing, you know, I'm not going to say Dead Island and Dying Light are like Demon Souls and Dark Souls. I think Demon Souls and Dark Souls are both better than both of those games by a decent margin, especially Dead Island. Dead Island has some serious problems, you know, but the arc is sort of similar, right? Where the first game comes out, it's a success, right? Then they make a sequel that takes a lot of the ideas from the previous thing and amps them up in a lot of interesting and great ways. You know, and then you get the sequel to that big step up that just does weird shit that feels that is inconsistent by the standard set by the previous game that came out, right? And it's just a really weird thing of like, how does that happen? It hurts my soul. Defeat all GRE anomalies. Anomalies? Ashamamalies. Alright, it should be this last one, and then we do the last thing.
If it isn't my intellectual sparring partner, I see you brought Albert a copy of Plato's Republic. Heady stuff.
I haven't read it, but Albert was sure excited.
If it has pages, Albert's excited. But here's a question. If you had to make a choice, would you choose to be just or to be happy?
I mean, I'd probably say just, because if you're doing the right thing, I think you get some happiness out of that. Whereas living a happy life, you can live a happy life that, you know, might come with, you know, some less than just justified things to live that life, you know? It's kind of weird. Okay, so anyway, the thing I was going to rant about, right, is the outside world, logistically, should be more safe than if, you know, like than going to a highly populated area of infected, right? It seems illogical to me that outside of a city would be more safe than inside of a city, right? Like, that just doesn't make sense to me. Right, like, I genuinely just don't get where the game's coming from as far as the city is safer when there's more people closer together, more infected closer together. Like, I don't understand the logic behind that.
With that many myself.
Yeah, I don't really understand why going to heavily populated areas is considered better than running out in the wilderness, right? Because in the wilderness, like, I'm assuming that the zombies, like, will probably die out over time just by virtue of not having sustenance of any kind, because they're ravenous, right? They're not going to be able to eat vegetables and shit. It'd be kind of funny if we found a zombie just guzzling bananas, but I mean, just, I don't know. Just, the world building in this game can be interesting, but there are several things where I just sit back and go, why is that the way it is? Like, it seems like it would be it seems like some things are just blatantly wrong, in my opinion.
I'll miss our conversations.
Yeah, me too, Thalia.
Do you think it's possible that I could see you again?
Very possible.
You can visit me at home, if you want. I've marked my flat on your map. I'll be there after the sunset.
Okay. See you there.
Till then, Aiden.
Let's go get laid! That's all I could think of the whole time this was going on. It was just like, woo! Are there any quests available? Do they pop up if I zoom in more? It's like that joke in Futurama where Zat Brannigan says enhance, and Kif just pushes his head closer to the screen. That's kind of where I'm at right now. Just kind of like, I don't really know how I'm doing this, but we're here. I'm about to maybe some fucking like cheese and chips with how long it takes to get this elevator going. In fact, I think I will. I'm gonna have some chips, some wonderful chips. There's nothing quite like gamer snacks, you know, whether that be like chips and dip, or like just some sort of salty, crunchy treat that you can eat into your microphone really obnoxiously. It's sort of a gamer pastime to be as annoying as possible. I wonder if that's a good thing or not.
But for a guy like you, Aiden, piece of cake.
The fuck? What are you doing, Aiden? Go over there. Game, what are you doing? Game, move forward. Move toward objective. The fuck are you doing? Jeez. Game, for fuck's sake. Let me go over there. What the fuck was that game? That was for... What the hell? Bye.
Maybe, but you don't want to see me. I ain't as pretty as before. We've both seen your biomarker. You're not gonna find me in time.
Dude, there's literally a lamp here, bud. This is one of the biggest things, right? The story gets really fucked over by the fact that, like, these lamps are everywhere, man. It'd be pretty hard for me to actually die at this point because of, like, my infection happening.
I don't give a fuck what you want anymore.
You're a lost cause, Hakon.
End of the line for you, kid. I'm taking that key.
Are you serious? Can we stop with the, like, repetitive boss fights over and over, please? I've beaten him, like, 3 times. I cut him in fucking half. Okay, like, can we call it quits? It's like, why does this plot line just keep going and going and going? Look, he's ripped in half right there. I'm starting to wonder if the Carriers Guild quest got replaced or some shit, because I've not seen them anywhere. And I think Night Runners is near the end of the quest line. You're just dancing over there, having a grand old time. I learned that we missed an entire quest line because we didn't interact with somebody at 2 different points in the game. So, no Carriers Guild quest line, apparently. And with that, we don't have really anything else we can do at this point besides finish the game. So let's finish this game, because I'm ready to uninstall it, and I want to do something else on stream. I don't really want to play this anymore. I'm ready for it to be done. I'm ready just to move on at this point, so let's get into it. Alright, everything's loading. Look at these wonderful textures. You see, you may be different races, but we're all gray on the inside.
You'll go with us, but stay cool and do what I say. Is that clear? Aiden. Aiden.
Oh yay, memory section. Woo.
Oh shit! Something's happening to him! He's turning!
Why are we having this right now? At the end of a conversation, we have a random freak out and then a memory.
Get the fuck off me!
That was awkward as shit. What was the point of that?
Aiden! Hey, we can't wait any longer. We need to get moving. You okay? Open up. Renegades will be here any minute.
How did Frank lock me in his room and then not have a key to... What? Confused.
Aiden, buddy. Good to see you alive.
Likewise, Nicholas.
Man, wouldn't be if it hadn't been for you, they say. Hell, everyone here'd be dead by now. Later, amigo.
Have we interacted with the barkeep at all? How do we know him? Beginning. Oh, okay. That's the main story beyond this point. I'll trigger the epilogue. Make sure to complete any. All right, we don't care. Let's go.
I need to get there somehow.
Aiden, why are you being retarded? The fuck is wrong with you? It's like there are clearly infected all over the damn place, and he's just like, oh, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I believe this is where shit hits the fan, and we have to like deal with Matt being a dick and other shit. It is kind of funny how the Peacekeepers aren't really a faction sometimes. They're just kind of a means to an end. Like, sometimes they help, sometimes they hurt. So it doesn't really feel like our faction choice matters that much in certain instances. I would love to knife Waltz to death. Just that would be fucking hilarious if I could just knife him to death.
Good choice.
I need to keep that in mind. The convenience of Aiden turning is very, very, strange. It's very convenient the way it works. It's really weird how they just kind of teleport you to different areas for different parts of the missions. It's very just abrupt and lazy is the word I would use.
Waltz was headed this way for sure. He knew it contained everything he needed for survival. We have to find him. You see?
We know that. We've established this like 17 times. It's like we don't need these reassurances. We need to find Waltz. It's like, yes, we know. He's trying to blow up the city. We know. There's no bigger stakes than that.
Who wrote that?
He was the father all along. It's just one of those funny things where it's one of like the oldest. I don't know if Star Wars started this trend, but I feel like it's become a trend to say, no, blank was your father. It's like, oh no, what are we gonna do? It's one of the weirdest twists people use nowadays, where it's just like they're related. Ah.
Leave me alone here.
Now I forget, does Aiden just have a really bad memory in this sequence? Is that the kind of thing that happens? I forget exactly the details of what Aiden remembers. It's one of those things that's really convenient that he doesn't remember Waltz telling him to run in a fire until like right now, when it would be the most impactful. Like 90%, 99% of the game where we think he's the bad guy the whole time. Then they're like, oh, he wasn't bad then, right at the end. Yeah, it's one of those annoying tropes where the main character doesn't remember this one little detail that changes the context of, like, the memory, you know? Like when the memory is changed. Like, when the tone of a memory is changed dramatically by, like, a single, like, tiny action that he does remember, but he just doesn't remember it until the plot needs him to remember it. You know, it's just one of those annoying tropes where things are sort of convoluted and the twists don't work because the characters are just stupid, or they don't remember shit.
You really don't remember anything, do you?
The twist of our character can't remember shit!
My daughter from me.
Oh boy, it's time. It's time. It's time. I'm gonna make all the fucking daggers. Make all of them. Let's do it. It's time to dagger waltz to death. Let's fucking go, bro. I didn't think they could do worse than the Rice fight, but Rice seems so much more tame by comparison to this. I remember hating how long this fight went on for. It was like 5 phases or some shit like that, where it's like, holy shit, man, you completely overcorrected from the Rice QuickTime events. What the fuck? Motherfucker, where are you running? Well, this is interesting. I can find a cure, Aiden, but I can't dodge projectiles. Are you serious? Like, am I not hitting him? I'm getting the hit marker. Wow, that is lame, game. Just making him immune to random types of damage. Oh, now he's not. I literally have to... Why do I have to be on the platform? You're the game that gave me a fucking shitload of ranged weapons. He literally doesn't take damage unless I'm on the platform with him. That is just lame. What do the numbers mean, Waltz? Oh, don't you just love games that undo your build for gimmicks? Don't you just love it? Especially when he fucking runs away. Stop running away, you fucking coward. Wasting my damn time. God, this fight's fucking lame. You like fights, don't you, player? Have one where you slowly thwack on a target. Just slowly thwack at him. Oh, I want to get a different ending, but I've been doing, like, save people. Okay, we're siding with saving people.
One?
So she needs a respirator, obviously, and I'm pretty sure she dies no matter what. Like, I don't think she can be saved, right? Or is that just me remembering stuff wrong? What's funny enough, I'm more curious what the flavor text is going to be at the end of the game than actually this ending, because I've already seen this sort of ending, right? Just not the survivor side of it. 2 weeks later.
Take heed and bear witness, for this is the news of the last city standing. A soup kitchen for the poorest citizens has been established in the city center. Farmers are asked to donate any unsold produce. We have survived another night, but many of our loved ones weren't so lucky. Be mindful and help those in need. We are one community.
That's weird. That's weird. It's like the Peacekeepers make it seem like a totalitarian regime has come up when you side with them, even if you pick the good options. And with the survivors, it's like, okay, things are rough, but we'll make it, guys. It's like you're making the choice less impactful when the story is so one-sided against the Peacekeepers. It kind of annoys me. Like, in a game that's supposed to have quote-unquote choice, there's a remarkable lack of those choices meaning anything in terms of the overall narrative being, you know, like, you can't side with the Peacekeepers and win. Right? You side with the Peacekeepers and then they lose. Right? Like, you can't help them win. You know, as far as I could tell, it's just annoying that shit's... You know, it's like, you side with the survivors win. You side with the Peacekeepers, they lose. It's like, fuck, man. It's just such an underwhelming type of shit. I've already had my rant. I'm probably gonna like get the game done and the recording, and that's it. I don't really think I'll rant very much after the fact, anyway. This is weird. Like, I didn't get any flavor text, but that's weird. Like, when I finished the game the first time, there was a bunch of like ending text stuff that described the state of the city. This was just survivors good, I guess. That was... I didn't think the ending would be lamer than the original version I got with the game, but fuck, here we are. But anyway, that's the end of Dying Light 2. I did not feel like finishing this on stream because I thought it'd be short, and I was right. This is an hour and a half. So I'll figure out what we're doing on stream tomorrow when I do stream. So we'll see how it goes. So I'm ready for the Beast. So now we just wait for that to come out. So we'll see how that does when it comes around. And yeah, that's pretty much all I got for this. So I just thank you all for watching the re-uploads. Or, well, the uploads. And I will see you guys very soon.